Part 79. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 786. Chapter 786 Ancient Emperor Weapon Seizing Technique. This is the end of the matter. If you are interested in fellow deist, you can follow the move. Xuanhuan reached out and waved a blue light, and there was a passage in the hustle and bustle of the clouds, heading towards the rear giant mountain. Everyone knows that Wei Suo and Lu Jinyu are at this level of opponent, and must be heaven-shaking. Xuanhuan must bring two people into a secret place, banned place, shapeshift great art, so as not to cause huge great treasure damage. Under such a lust situation, I am afraid that the fool will choose to stay on the platform and not follow the fun. For a time, the entire Pangret treasure, such as the island's White U platform, all the brilliance rises, like countless immortals, followed by Xuanhuan and Wei Suo. Xuanhuan led the way ahead, among the white clouds. From time to time, there were floating pavilions, and even huge stones flowed out of the clear spring out of the air, scattered in the air, like a real wonderland. After a while, everyone approached the Heaven Transformation Cult. Heaven Transformation Cult. The entire naked body has a layer of white divine light, and there is no shapeshift great art to see the naked body. And Ling Longtian is very low-key, followed by Yin Liwa's side. A pair of great treasure eyes is a non-stop for secret place sneak, and suddenly, her face is obviously great treasure. What happened? Wei Suo clearly felt the change in her body, immediately asking with sound transmission. Primordial beginning divine wood. Heaven Transformation Cult secret seat. There is a strain of primordial beginning divine wood. Ling Longtian is very shocking to the Wei Suo sound transmission. Primordial beginning divine wood, what is it? Wei Suo asked immediately about the surging sound color. He did not even hear about this divine wood, but it was quite shocking to let Ling Longtian be shocked. It's a hard time to say that divine wood can naturally grow the greatest treasure shapeshift great art pattern in the roots, and put a piece of this divine wood roots into the Mingtai position. Usually this divine wood divine root is daily will absorb a part of origin chi, condense it, but in case the cultivator itself suffers fatal damage, this divine wood divine root will produce the great treasure life of origin chi, as long as the divine wood roots in the Mingtai position is not turned into fly ash. Even if the great treasure half fleshly body is made into fly ash, it can be revived. Ling Longtian grinds his teeth and hands clench his fists. There are two divine mystic great treasures, you don't want to one yuan. Wei Suo can see that Ling Longtian is already a coveted U drop and immediately issued a warning. Although the little girl with the long horn on her head is an ancient old devil, she saw a good thing and her eyes were shining. It was like seeing a raw bone with a hungry dog. I wanted the bones to be dead. In the north, ruins was almost divine. The Y-way of the weapon fragment was half dead. At the moment she looks, it is obvious that this divine wood is equally useful to her. In particular, Wei Suo can be sure that Ling Longtian's spirit race, in addition to being able to fly in the sky, seems to have no shapeshift great art at all. It uses other methods of shapeshift great art. Like some level 9 power type monster beast, it belongs to close combat type. Such a piece can make her great treasure half fleshly body fly gray and resurrected things, naturally more than 10 times more useful than blood essence stone. Ling Longtian said that the Lingtai position is located in the back of the head, that is to say, the head is not knocked off, and the naked body suffers fatal damage, and it can grow very quickly, comparable to what Ling Longtian said before. Scripture is gone. This primordial beginning divine wood is quickly becoming a climate. Ling Longtian's gaze looked at the secret place, a secret place, and it was a bit straight. Obviously Wei Suo's warnings didn't get heard. This is among the Heaven Transformation Cult gates, and so many great treasure cultivators are gathered together. If you come to one yuan, you will definitely not be able to escape. Wei Suo suddenly got nervous and immediately sounded to Ling Longtian. Ling Longtian was very angry and called a surging sound, and it seemed very uncomfortable for Wei Suo to persuade her. At this point, Sushengxiu moved with both hands, and there was a passage around the white divine light outside the entire giant mountain of heaven transformation called. A one-yuan stone valley full of ancient desolate appears in the eyes of everyone. An amazing ancient desolate breath and a blessed aura, so that everyone is shocked. There was no anger in the entire valley, and the secret place was traces of the bombing of the shapeshift great art and the shapeshift great art great treasure. A layer of faint bronze brilliance, surging in the crack secret place in this valley. This valley is my heaven transformation cult. I am a cultivator from heaven transformation cult. After I upgraded to the golden core third layer, I can challenge a supreme elder. If the challenge is successful, I can be promoted to supreme elder, enjoy supreme elder treatment. This valley is decorated with restrictions, cultivators outside of restrictions, and there is no shapeshift great art interference with shapeshift great art. Should there be no problem with this matchup? As the Sushengxiu surging sound, the Wei Suo and Lu Jinyu as well as the other two heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple fall first, leaving the rest cultivator all stay out of the valley, and then the hands, a layer of bronze light rose up, enveloped almost the entire valley. Wei Suo and Lu Jinyu, two heavenly Emperor Dao disciple all enveloped, while he and Wang Wei, the rest cultivator, but all fell out of the light screen. Well, I have no problem. Wei Suo eyes flash, some of my heart is happy, because the secret place valley is very extraordinary, it seems to have been around for a long time, but it does not block origin chi, he feels that using Earth Mother ancient scripture, there is no hindrance. Thank you for the sect master arrangement, there is no problem in nature. Lu Jinyu had a surging sound and sneered. In this case, you can start. Sushengxiu nodded and there was no nonsense. You two will go back to the edge first, and I will let you shoot when you shoot. Lu Jinyu first directed the two heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple to a surging sound, followed by Wei Suo. I will let you fall here today to sacrifice my undead. Lu Jinyu's body is boundlessly in the killing intent, his white divine light condense giant great treasure screen, dazzling, almost no shapeshift great art by vision. Hong. I saw his eyes flash, the immortal king god crystal was swallowed by him, and a huge pressure from him suddenly broke away from him. Behind his great treasure screen, the great treasure statue of the emperor, instantly condensed the essence, if there is a star in the eyes is disillusioned. On the true UN cultivation base, Lu Jinyu is indeed far above Wei Suo. At the moment, he swallowed immortal king god crystal, his breath suddenly soared, and the cultivation base has passed the peak of the golden core 5th layer late stage. And he said nothing wrong. I am afraid that if Wei Suo is not defeated, it will inevitably ruin, but if he is not good, Wei Suo wants to kill him, I am afraid that both Wu Wei and Sushengxiu will stop. Lu Jinyu's words at the moment can also inflict pressure on Wei Suo's strong great treasure. If there is no such thing as Wei Suo, Lu Jinyu is so breathable, I am afraid that there is no rival in the golden core cultivator of his peers. This kind of genius young cultivator, it is difficult to have one, and Heavenly Emperor Dao has one. I didn't expect Heavenly Profound Continent to have such a, it is a pity that these two genius cultivators, which are rare in the ages, are deadly enemies. Even if they are not born and killed today, I am afraid that there will be one person between the two in the future. Many old antiques are now divine light, staring at Lu Jinyu and Wei Suo. They feel at the moment that Lu Jinyu and Wei Suo are probably the shapeshift great art of heaven level top rank. Yes, it depends on whether you have such a means. Wei Suo was very calm and said indifferently. Death. OM. At the same time, Lu Jinyu and Wei Suo started to shake their hearts. A group of ice purple divine light blooms on Wei Suo. For the sake of stability, Wei Suo first presents the indestructible clean bottle, a circle of ice purple divine mark, and the flow of supreme charm, so that almost all the eyes of the great treasure cultivator are suddenly changed. Extremely blazing. Wei Suo's this indestructible clean bottle is full of true immortal chi. Even the two divine mystic great treasures, Wang Wushang and Sushengxiu, can't feel that this is Wei Suo's newly refining shapeshift great art great treasure. I only thought it was the real immortal artifact. Immortal artifact, who doesn't want to get it? Lu Jianyu's divine consciousness also seems to be far from the general cultivator, and the shapeshift great art is almost the same as Wei Suo. Take. Just at the moment when Wei Suo offered the indestructible clean bottle, Lu Jianyu squeezed out a shapeshift great art, a brilliance of ancient characters, which was shot from his hand, and a surging sound directly passed through the outside of the indestructible clean bottle. The purple light pattern is on the bottle of the indestructible clean bottle. Ancient Emperor weapon seizing technique. Seeing this scene, Ling Longtian, who was still thinking about something, lust, suddenly looked great. Ancient Emperor weapon seizing technique. Ancient Heavenly Realm, the Heavenly Dao Supreme Secret Techniques. Dedicated to shapeshift great art great treasure. This Dao technique shapeshift great art reappears the cultivation world. At the same time, an old antique that looks as old as Yufeng Reverend, whose face is wrinkled like a knife, and whose eyes are so old that it seems to be too open, suddenly treasures his eyes, and a surging sound is unbelievable. Exclamation. Pu. The entire indestructible clean bottle turned out to be Guanghua's great treasure, and Wei Suo was sprayed out of it. At the same time, the entire indestructible clean bottle was pulled by an inexplicable powerful energy and shot towards Lu Jianyu. Wei Suo's face was full of horror. Lu Jianyu's Dao technique shapeshift great art, let him instantly connect him with the mind of the indestructible clean bottle. Can erase his true Yuan in the indestructible clean bottle. Qi. A true Yuan and a mystic fiend Yin Qi burst from Wei Suo and wrapped the indestructible clean bottle. Indestructible clean bottle was shocked by Wei Suo and caught back. Lu Jianyu, this Dao technique shapeshift great art, the power of the indestructible clean bottle is not tyrannical, and the great treasure is only the capture of the power of true Yuan to the preciousness of Lu Jianyu. But even so, it is enough to make all cultivators including him very upset. Lu Jianyu's Dao technique shapeshift great art, even if shapeshift great art directly captures his indestructible clean bottle, but at least his indestructible clean bottle has no shapeshift great art normal controls, just like breaking him directly. Immortal artifact defense. No wonder this person knows that I am killing divine mystic, and dare to scream, and I will fight alone. This Dao technique shapeshift great art, if it is changed to Wang Wei's real body to show, with the strength of Wang Wei's true Yuan, I am afraid that mystic fiend Yin Qi is also difficult to get back, to be directly captured. In the mind of Wei Suo's, the idea suddenly flashed. Why, I thought it would be a shameless thing to rely on one or two shapeshift great art great treasures. I will tell you today that in the cultivation world, the shapeshift great art of great treasure is also produced by the cultivator. Only the cultivation base and the strong shapeshift great art are fundamental. Lu Jianyu had a surging sound and a cold sneer. At the same time, his eyebrows suddenly emerged as an endless white divine light, forming a white vertical eye. The white vertical eye is in the middle, and the pupil is a divine mark with a terrifying breath. Breathing the world. What is this? Another shapeshift great art? Many old antiques couldn't help but exclaim. The whole valley was almost boiling, and Lu Jianyu's divine ability started from the imagination of all the cultivators. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 787. Chapter 787 Supreme Secret Techniques. Just as Lu Jianyu's eyebrows formed a white vertical eye, Wei Suo suddenly emerged as a flaming divine light, stepping out one step at a time and coming to Lu Jianyu. A group of black, silver, red, white, and gold divine light blasted behind Lu Jianyu. At this moment, Wei Suo turned out to be the indestructible clean bottle in the floating air, directly applying the void walking footwork directly to the clothes, and attacking Lu Jianyu. The two had a competition in an instant, and the great treasure half-present cultivator did not even see it. The four gold king phantoms of the four god king shapeshift great art seats of Pang great treasure all collapsed, and the entire four god king shapeshift great art seats swayed forward. Hong, until then, a surging sound came out, and a piece of red debris burst and flew out, bringing out an amazing flame. Void walking footwork. Is this cloud spirit continent's old-fashioned Eastern desolate sex unbelievable shapeshift great art? This fleshly body is comparable to mystic rank shapeshift great art great treasure. And divine consciousness is a great treasure. Shapeshift great art is so amazing, the ordinary golden core cultivator, even if there is mystic rank's automatic guardian shapeshift great art great treasure, there is no shapeshift great art blocking, it is directly to be close to the spike. Many well-known figures of the old antiques were shocked. They saw it clearly. Wei Suo came directly behind Lu Jianyu and made a black fire first. Then he kicked Lu Jianyu, as if he wanted to directly take Lu. Jianyu stepped on his feet. The red tower of the automatic guardian that appeared on Lu Jianyu was directly shattered by Wei Suo. Then the white aperture of Lu Jianyu blocked the black fire, but it was broken by Wei Suo until 4. God King shapeshift great art has a golden light on it to stop Wei Suo's foot. Wei Suo's fleshly body silver divine light shines, comparable to the level 9 ancient desolate behemoth. Such a blow, I am afraid that even these old antiques are not blocked by shapeshift great art at all, and the strong great treasure is at the point where most of the cultivators are present. Just between these old antiques, even more amazing match UPS began. On top of the 4 God King shapeshift great art, which was played by Wei Suo, the vertical eye in Lu Jianyu's eyebrows was completely open. The endless white divine light, which emerged from his vertical eye, instantly flooded the entire valley with the ocean formed by the white divine light. The entire bronze reticle is full of white divine light. Dear God! What is this surgery shapeshift great art? As completely isolated 6 senses. This kind of lust shape, there is no shapeshift great art perceptually apparently at all, as it becomes a complete dice. Outside the valley, there is a moment of boiling, many great treasure cultivators, and even many old antiques of the golden core 5th layer are exclaimed. This white divine light is not only blocking the eyes, surging sound, even divine consciousness can only explore a little, the whole white divine light, like a dead ocean, even these outside cultivator, I can't see any lust inside. This is Heavenly Emperor sense destroying eye, one of my Heavenly Emperor Deo 3 heaven level top ranks, a shapeshift great art, a Heavenly Emperor Deo true disciple said extremely proudly. Pu. At the same time, a strand of divine light flew out of the hands of Wang Wei, in front of him in the void, condensed giant map. Among the entire giant figure, it is a lust shape in the entire valley. At the moment, Wei Suo is 10 miles away from Lu Jianyu, but it is not directly opposite Lu Jianyu. It is obvious that he does not know the position of Lu Jianyu at the moment. Lu Jianyu's Deo technique shapeshift great art, it seems that no shapeshift great art blocks Wang Wei's divine light shapeshift great art line of sight, and now all cultivators outside have no shapeshift great art to see the lens shift great art's lust shape, but with supreme divine ability, divine light condenses the inside scene, so that all the cultivators present can be seen. Among the valleys, Wei Suo is like being trapped in the white divine sea. Lu Jianyu this Deo technique shapeshift great art, there is no special lethality, but there is no senses terrifying effect of 6, just this Deo technique shapeshift great art 1 out, with his divine consciousness can only detect to the range of about dozens of feet, and could not hear surging sound, see things, like a blind, deaf, do not know Lu Jianyu where, so he move void walking footwork again, instantly across 10, lest be Lu Jianyu sneak attack immediately. At this moment, he has no shapeshift great art to perceive anything beyond the range of dozens of feet, or like a scorpion. With my divine consciousness, I can only find a range of dozens of feet. No wonder I kill divine mystic. He dares to be so arrogant. I have to fight against me alone. It turns out that top rank is the shapeshift great art. This kind of shapeshift great art, even if 100 golden core great treasure cultivator kills him in this valley, it is just like a scorpion, only beaten, and killed by him. Wei Suo is also very clear at this moment. Just like he has Earth Mother ancient scripture and void walking footwork, Lu Jianyu is indeed a few supreme strong shapeshift great art, his divine ability, and far from the general golden core cultivator can compare. However, Wei Suo is very calm at the moment, without any stoppage. According to the impression of Wei Suo is stepping out of the direction of the indestructible clean bottle. At the same time, his eyebrows were also flashing in the golden light, running the shapeshift great art from the shapeshift great art. Within his eyebrows, if there is a golden god, he will spill his divine consciousness. Under this secret place shapeshift great art, his divine consciousness dong wears a moment of great treasure, and divine consciousness pierces the surrounding white divine sea, shrouded in a radius of more than 200 feet. Without any pause, a black villain was turned out in front of him, and the breath shook the world. Zhentian shapeshift great art. Wei Suo also sacrificed the town of shapeshift great art. The town's shapeshift great art was released, and Wei Suo's divine consciousness re-expanded the great treasure more than once, and the scene within a radius of 500 feet was clearly perceived. Indestructible clean bottle is just 400 feet away from his left front, but moving away from him, Lu Jianyu is still 500 feet away, obviously using the ancient emperor weapon seizing technique. First take this shapeshift great art great treasure. On his left and right side, less than 400 feet, the other two heavenly emperor Dao true disciple, have been hidden. It seems that the two truly Emperor Dao's true disciple, under Lu Jianyu's Dao technique shapeshift great art, are unaffected and can be clearly guided by Lu Jianyu. This is another piece of this nearly immortal artifact to great treasure, the town of shapeshift great art. With this great treasure, did he kill Mystic Wind Sect's true treasure, the treasure disciple and several old antique characters? This town of shapeshift great art, powerful energy shaking the world, is really comparable to the real divine mystic shapeshift great art. This kind of powerful energy, I am afraid that no golden core cultivator can withstand it, but it is useless, and this person's immortal artifact will be taken away immediately. Lu Jianyu has this fairy bottle in hand, he can't break Lu Jianyu's defense, what's more, he can't even see Lu Jianyu anywhere. Maybe he should fall directly into the hands of these two heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple. Wang Wushang divine light all the changes in the valley, the town day shapeshift great art festival, as the ancient god of war suddenly came, behind the head bloom round black sun, step out of no circled black divine light, breath vibration void, incomparable pang great treasure, almost let all outside the golden core great treasure cultivator, including old antique level characters or intuition has no shapeshift great art rival. But almost all of these golden core great treasure cultivators and old antique level characters are not optimistic about Wei Suo. The sharp shapeshift great art great treasure is also like a scorpion. Immortal artifact has to be taken away, and all struggles are in vain. Under the magic of my first senior brother, this person must be a bone. The previous heavenly emperor Dao true disciple with surging sound had a great smile and was conceited. His words have not been finished yet. Zhentian shapeshift great art has already moved, and one hand draws out, bringing a circle of mysterious texture, and the whole sky is shaking. Pu. No surging sound is heard, but all cultivators are browse, just like hearing the surging sound on the fleshly body. Township shapeshift great art draws out the singularly powerful energy, and the accurate slap on two heavenly emperor Dao true disciple who have already faced Wei Suo's shapeshift great art and shapeshift great art great treasure. The whole void seemed to be shaking. All the brilliance of the two heavenly emperor Dao true disciple were instantly shattered. Immediately, the fleshly body of the two heavenly emperor Dao disciple was completely cracked and the blood row flew. This hit, heaven shaking, the entire valley around the sound of the surging sound of the Zhou air cooled, just that the great treasure surging sounds near, heavenly emperor Dao disciple face pale, Zhang great treasure mouth, like a ghost. Two heavenly emperor Dao true disciple, even hit by Wei Suo. Does this supreme magic not block his divine consciousness? Impossible. This kind of powerful energy that blocks divine consciousness, even if the real divine mystic great treasure can, I can only feel within 200 feet, it is impossible to perceive the two heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple. A lot of old antiques have reacted, and Wei Suo is not a blind man at the moment, he can actually perceive the surrounding scene. Township shapeshift great art did not stop at all, continue to move forward, breathe the world. It seems that the front of the indestructible clean bottle will be caught in the hands. How? Wei Suo is in front of the secret place, and Lu Jianyu has an incredible divine light in his eyes. Even if you can unravel this technique, there is no shapeshift great art to reverse your declining end. Give me a chance. Lu Jianyu's face almost simultaneously appeared a sly look, a brilliance of ancient words instantly in front of him, hit the Wipos town of shapeshift great art. Throughout the town of shapeshift great art, all the spirit light disappeared and became the former black villain. The black villain was pulled by inexplicable forces and flew away in the direction of Lu Jianyu. Do you have time? As Wei Suo, who was stripped of his armor, was very calm, there was a sneer. His hand shines silver and directly forces the black villain. At the same time, a true Yuan was focused on the indestructible clean bottle already in front of him. You can do it again, Wei Suo sneered. Indestructible clean bottle on the ice purple divine light flashed, the whole bottle, but it suddenly turned into a black dong, all the light, not only the entire valley, even the outside of the valley, turned dark. In the dozens of miles, all of them turned into a night of no 5 fingers, and even divine light, which was created by Wang Wei, was completely hidden in the night. Black copper. In this piece of immortal artifact, there is a great treasure, black copper. This piece of immortal artifact, there is such a shapeshift great art array of powerful energy. When he was in the Mysian city against the enemy divine mystic great treasure, he left a backup, which did not completely stimulate the bottle. All onlookers cultivators, including Su Shengxiu and Wang Wei, are inevitably discolored. Ah! Out of the fingers, in the dark valley, suddenly a surging sound of Lu Jianyu screamed, surging sound. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 788. Chapter 788 Secretly Ghosts. In the dark valley, Wei Suo is volleyed, and the indestructible clean bottle floats above his head, absorbing all the light. Within his eyebrows, if there is a golden god standing, the sound of the fairy is flowing, and his divine consciousness is spilled. A giant great treasure white bone rod was sacrificed to the front. The white bone's shapeshift great art great treasure is the shapeshift great art made by Wei Suo with the spine of ancient desolate Bai Zi. Lu Jianyu's heavenly emperor sense-destroying eye does not seem to have any endless performance of shapeshift great art. It seems that there is also a great treasure loss. Only Wei Suo kills 2 heavenly emperor Dao disciple and regains control of the indestructible clean bottle, and G indestructible all shapeshift great art arrays on the clean bottle. Lu Jianyu is useless for the supreme secret place shapeshift great art for Wei Suo, and has stopped the heavenly emperor sense-destroying eye. In the moment of all shapeshift great art arrays on the G indestructible clean bottle, Wei Suo actually did not have shapeshift great art to sense Lu Jianyu's naked body position, so he also made ancient desolate Bai Zi. The shapeshift great art great treasure of the spine, turned out to be a white ancient desolate miasma, with no difference in hitting the front. At the moment, Lu Jianyu stopped the heavenly emperor sense-destroying eye. Wei Suo exhibited the supreme secret place shapeshift great art from true immortal divine mark, and the divine consciousness enveloped the entire valley. At this moment, he sees clearly, Lu Jianyu is about 600 feet in front of him, his face is full of painful, unbelievable look, his body spurting a piece of fly ash, is resisting invading his naked body within the ancient desolate Bai Zi miasma. Lu Jinayu's heavenly emperor sense-destroying eye and ancient emperor weapon-seizing technique are indeed the shocking supreme strong shape-shift great art, but Wei Suo also has Earth Mother ancient scripture, void-walking footwork, and unknown shape-shift great. Supreme, such as art, is strong in shape-shift great art. Supreme strong shape-shift great art, no shape-shift great art can be said to be better and worse, and the shape-shift great art is changing rapidly. At this moment, the confrontation between the two supreme strong shape-shift great art is the absolute advantage of Wei Suo. Seeing that Lu Jinayu was attacked by his own ancient desolate by Ze miasma, Wei Suo did not stop at the slightest. He stepped forward again and showed the void-walking footwork, one step behind Lu Jinayu. A thin dark gold sword chi hit the Lu Jinayu back of the head, and once again, stepped on the back of Lu Jinayu. Originally, he was also prepared to listen to Ling Longtian's previous sound transmission, deliberately causing his own illusion of being hit hard, but Lu Jinayu's divine ability was far from his imagination, which made him feel very dangerous. At this moment, he did not want to give Lu Jinayu any chance. Directly I want to kill Lu Jinayu in one fell swoop. A group of white divine light came out of Lu Jinayu, blocking Wei Suo's dark golden sword light, but was stepped out by Wei Suo. Ah! The golden light from the four God King shape-shift great art was once again shattered by Wei Suo. OM. A breath of great treasure, once again shaking the world, Wei Suo once again sacrificed the town of shape-shift great art. There is no Lu Jinayu's heavenly emperor sense-destroying eye barrier. All the cultivators outside have heard the macro treasure of the magnificent treasure. The surging sound is all about it. Take. Lu Jinayu once again played an ancient character, playing on the town of shape-shift great art. Just turned out the town of shape-shift great art, immediately turned into a black villain. I am waiting for you, Wei Suo. A surging sound cold, with 7 silver stars flashing at the foot. At the same time, 7 silver beams fell from the sky and turned into a Deo Venerable, which was pressed against the 4 God King shape-shift great art. So amazing astral origin chi, another supreme strong shape-shift great art. All the cultivators outside the valley were silent in the darkness, and they could not see the sights in the valley, but they saw the 7 pillars of the astounding stars hang from the endless void and into the valley. Ah! Lu Jinayu and the entire 4 God King shape-shift great art were beaten out. Inside the shape-shift great art, as if there were countless silver candle lights, a blood spurted out of Lu Jinayu's mouth. Wei Suo did not pursue it immediately, and displayed the void-walking footwork. It was pulled out in one step, but it was separated from Lu Jinayu and appeared in a place about 3,000 feet from Lu Jinayu. At the moment Wei Suo among the eyebrows, if there is a golden god only splash divine consciousness cover the range, but Lu Jinayu divine consciousness, but only cover more than 2,000 jang. In this pitch black dark valley, Lu Jinayu complexion drastic change, completely perceive Wei Suo's existence, completely has no shape-shift great art judgment way where the Suo will attack from, completely do not know Wei Suo's operation shapeshift great where art will be calling from. Without shapeshift great art, no shapeshift great art responded in the first place, and it was already in the doldrums when it was against the enemy. Pu. Wei Suo reformed 7 silver stars at the foot, cast the celestial emperor falling star, and once again shot a Deo Venerable to Lu Jinayu. At the same time, he stepped out again and showed the void-walking footwork, one step behind Lu Jinayu. Hong. Lu Jinayu, a blazing white glow, and his spiritual chi-shaped white god on the screen of the emperor of the same golden core sunlight condensate, from his spirit step out, a blow to the front of the bright Deo Venerable smashed, but Wei Suo's foot, and again he and 4 God King shape-shift great art blocked to fly out. Shocked Lu Jinayu is a surging sound scream out, a blood from the mouth gush out. Wei Suo has completely gained the upper hand. Lu Jinayu has a few supreme secret place shape-shift great art, which is a loss to Wei Suo. This son is not only relying on an immortal artifact, no immortal artifact, his divine ability is probably also invincible in the golden core cultivator. This son is so strong. At the moment the whole valley is still all shrouded in the darkness of pitch black, but Lu Jianyu screams repeatedly out, was beaten constantly flying, through some breath of induction, the valley outside the great treasure most cultivator, but is already can be very sure of the judgment. Wei Suo now occupies the top of the absolute, each blow to Lu Jianyu bring very great treasure damage. Death old ghost, is this miscalculated? You give Lu Jianyu an immortal king god crystal, which is simply a white delivery. This is really called stealing G, not eclipsing the rice, and jumping into the pit to find death. Just then, an ridiculous surging sound was introduced into the ears of heaven-catching Reverend. In the darkness, heaven-catching Reverend was really ugly, and now I heard someone sound transmission saying that I was so angry that I was so angry. Heaven-catching Reverend Divine Consciousness sweeping out, now sound transmission, laughing at him, is a cultivator next to Yin Liwa's secret place, one of the two Black Wind sect cultivators that followed Wei Suo. You are impatient. In this case, heaven-catching Reverend didn't dare to make it at random, but it was just full of murderous intention sound transmission to the person's ear. With your eyes and eyes, you dare to threaten me, idiot. A more disdainful surging sound was introduced into heaven-catching Reverend. Do you really think I can't kill you? Heaven-catching Reverend 7 cigarettes, he feels that the person is just the thought division realm cultivation base. Even if this person uses shapeshift great art to hide the cultivation base, heaven-catching Reverend is now golden core 4th layer cultivation base, and he does not believe that this person's divine ability has himself. In this place, do you dare to kill me? I think you are also white. Idiot, there is a way to kill me. The man was very proud of the sound transmission to heaven-catching Reverend, and there was no surging sound to jump around. You are dead. Heaven-catching Reverend's face suddenly appeared a sly smile, a flash, no surging sound, no interest in the direction of the person. Although it is in the Heaven Transformation Cult Gate, Yin Liwa and the two Black Wind sect cultivators are just the secret place on the edge of the valley, far from Sushengxiu and Wangwei, secret place at Sushengxiu and Wangwei. Divine consciousness is outside of perception. And this person jumped around and jumped further, and in his opinion it was simply looking for death. This kind of reaching out and not seeing the 5 fingers can only rely on the darkness judged by divine consciousness. Even if Nong makes a little noise and origin Chi Bo, it is difficult to judge who is shot outside divine consciousness. And in heaven-catching Reverend's view, this level of character, divine consciousness, can be spiked at once, with no effort at all. Ah! You really dare to come? The man felt that heaven-catching Reverend Bai was close and seemed very horrified. I am here to send you a new reincarnation. Heaven-catching Reverend a surging sound, divine consciousness is a fierce pressure on this person. Comment but what made him breathe directly stopped, but this person did not have any hindrance at all. Old ghost, you are fooled. As a surging sound was introduced into his ear, the man suddenly came to his body, and his head was erected. He now has no shadow shift great art to perform any shape shift great art. Fly in the sky dodge is not at all. Pu. It seems that just someone slammed, and heaven-catching Reverend suffered a heavy blow on the back of the head, and then he didn't know anything. Ling Longtian, what are you doing? Almost at the same time, in the dark, Yin Liwa also received a sound transmission, and came to the place where heaven-catching Reverend was stunned. This guy is the deadly enemy of the dead liar. I won't hold his surgery. Shapeshift great art. Yu Yin Corp sect has great treasure to make people who don't have shapeshift great art to speak shapeshift great art. You control him. I want to disguise him as me, when the conditions permit. When I hear a surging sound like the old ghost screaming surging sound, you let the death scammer G indestructible clean bottle all shapeshift great art array. Ling Longtian's surging sound was quickly introduced into Yin Liwa's ear. Immediately, she stuffed something into the arms of heaven-catching Reverend and immediately sneaked out of the valley. You're thinking, he is not telling you not to. In the darkness of the 5 fingers, Yin Liwa suddenly turned white, and some responded to what Ling Longtian was going to do, but Ling Longtian had already come out of her divine consciousness perception without waiting for her to say anything. Hong. Among the black valleys, Wei Suo took the initiative and continued to display the void-walking footwork, smashing Lu Jinyu and vomiting blood. If it weren't for the four-god king shapeshift great art, it would be a little weird, like a naked body with him. I am afraid that Lu Jinyu has been beaten at the moment. Hong. Another Dao Venerable was suppressed. Although it was blocked by the vomiting Lu Jinyu, some of the violent silver death light penetrated into Lu Jinyu's naked body without any block. Lu Jinyu's face is now 10 years old. Hong. Wei Suo stepped out from above and stepped down as if the giant hammer landed. The whole void seemed to be hollow. The four god king shapeshift great art and Lu Jinyu were stepped down and slammed into the valley. The white divine light on Lu Jinyu's body was cracked, and it seemed to be violently shaken by Dang. It was so close that True Yuan was almost without shapeshift great art. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 789. Chapter 789 Dying Appearance. Wei Suo uses the Earth Mother ancient scripture with the void-walking footwork to constantly cross the void and completely overwhelm the upper hand. Give you back to the west. Seeing that Lu Jinyu's white divine light is completely broken, True Yuan is almost no shapeshift great art, and the golden light is lost in the four god king shapeshift great art. Wei Suo is wrapped in a strong great treasure killing intent Dao Venerable. At the same time, Wei Suo once again stepped onto Lu Jinyu. Hey! Lu Jinyu suddenly passed the naked body light, a terrifying breath shocked Dang. Wei Suo great treasure was shocked and showed the void-walking footwork, stepping out, but not near Lu Jinyu, but across the 10 miles. Lu Jinyu's sigh of breath is too terrifying, making him feel the danger of being a naked body to be shaken into powder. Just as Wei Suo's figure disappeared above Lu Jinyu was like a golden glass great treasure lamp, the glow of the sun shining, above the top of the head, condense a golden sword, scatters golden light. The moment when the golden sword was formed, the surrounding space was distorted, and the Dao Venerable that Wei Suo played was directly broken. The golden divine light, black copper on the golden sword is actually swallowed by the shapeshift great art. If the same golden day suddenly comes, the whole valley is instantly illuminated. Lu Jinyu was beaten so badly. All cultivators outside the valley revisited the confrontation between Wei Suo and Lu Jinyu. Lu Jinyu body of the simple shapeshift great art clothes all have been red blood, covered with blood, even shook the head is covered with blood, but Lu Jinyu at the moment above the golden sword above the head, take the soul, the above scattered breath, let the entire shrouded valley of bronze divine light screen are constantly shaking, this breath, so many closer to the bronze divine light screen of old antique level characters are very sad nearly vomiting blood. This is the divine mark condense for great treasure. Wei Suo, stunned, the first time the golden sacred sword was formed, he felt the breath of the venerable emperor sword like the Lei Wang in ruins, and at this moment he has seen that the golden sword does not have real tires. The naked body, but a golden divine mark condense, with the scattered origin chi, weaves the unique shapeshift great art domain powerful energy, so even the black copper is not swallowed by shapeshift great art. This golden sword Dang is full of breathtaking divine mystic powerful energy. It is certainly not a shapeshift great art great treasure tempered by Lu Jinyu. It must be a divine mark imprint by Wang Wei in his naked body. I want to destroy me. Give me to die. Lu Jinyu is not only covered in blood, but also at the corners of his mouth and nostrils, and his eyes are staring at Wei Suo. He is extremely resentful and can't tell the embarrassment. Chi. The sword light from the golden holy sword instantly cut through the void and instantly reached Wei Suo's. Dang. The indestructible clean bottle blocked the golden sword and hit the two sides of the shapeshift great art field, shaking off a layer of ripples in the air. The power of this golden sword can be compared with Huang Pujualun's sword. Wei Suo's naked body was violent, and an almost transparent sword mark appeared on the bottle of the indestructible clean bottle. The Jizur Chi of the door was turned out, and the back of the ancient desolate giant cheek was blocked. And if his fleshly body is comparable to the ancient desolate behemoth, the collision of such powerful energy will make him directly unable to control true Yuan, and the fleshly body will be directly injured. The golden treasure of the golden sword is powerful energy, so Wei Suo can't dare to display the void walking footwork directly. If it is directly killed by the golden sword, I am afraid that his fleshly body will be shattered. Dang! Wei Suo exhibited void walking footwork, and opened the distance with Lu Jianyu again to give indestructible clean bottle more time to recover. It was also directly played by Lu Jianyu's ancient emperor weapon seizing technique, making him without shapeshift great art. Defense with indestructible clean bottle. But his void walking footwork has just brought the indestructible clean bottle on the side, and the terrifying golden sword is coming in an instant, killing the bottle of the indestructible clean bottle again. Seeing such a scene, Yin Liwa, who had already breathed a sigh of relief, was a snow-white but white face with no half-blood. It's all in a match with the divine mystic great treasure that adds a golden core climate to the golden core 5th layer. The means of divine mystic 4th layer great treasure is really unimaginable. Many old antique figures shook their heads secretly. They have already seen that this golden sword is not the power of Lu Jianyu. It is completely part of the divine might of Wang Wei seal in Lu Jianyu's naked body, and the golden sword of this handle the shot is completely over Lu Jianyu's shapeshift great art, which seems to be independent. It's like a divine mystic great treasure. I can help Lu Jianyu against the enemy with this golden sword. But at this moment, Wang Wei didn't shoot. This part of divine might was previously sealed by Wang Wei. Now Lu Jianyu is like a belt. Like the strong great treasure of the teacher's refining shapeshift great art great treasure, this kind of duel cannot be said to be unfair. The cultivator in the presence of Heavenly Emperor Dao is all one you, especially the young Heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple is even more eager to watch Wei Suo sneer. Boy, what do you fight with me, Lu Jianyu with both hands, countless groups of white divine light from his front, indifferent to the direction of Wei Suo. The Emperor's Tower, this is one of the cannot be passed on secret of cover shift great art, heaven level mid-level, and Heavenly Emperor Dao. Lu Jianyu actually learned so many secret place shapeshift great art, it seems that Wang Wei is indeed regarding him as the heir to sect master. It is no wonder that this child has golden core 5th layer cultivation base, and this life will break divine mystic. Wei Suo, this is not good. Outside the valley, an old antique made such a whisper. Chi! Chi! A group of white divine light, all turned into a crystal white treasure tower, radiant. After each white great treasure tower was fired, it did not collapse immediately, but flew in the air. Dang reluctantly great treasure powerful energy, such as the same respect for great treasure. This Dao technique shapeshift great art is also a secret place of Heavenly Emperor Dao. Now Lu Jianyu immortal king god crystal is in the body, the cultivation base is comparable to half a divine mystic great treasure, and this technique is performed, in a moment, half the valleys are all in the secret place. These are the white great treasure towers. Divine consciousness has no shapeshift great art to lock the Wei Suo of the void walking footwork, but it is completely a cover of seeing. Dang! Golden divine mark Xuanhuan once again smashed on the indestructible clean bottle, while several white great treasure towers were also suppressed on the bottle of indestructible clean bottle. Ka! Although it is only part of divine might, this golden sword is comparable to Huangpu Juelun. Equivalent to a divine mystic great treasure and half of the divine mystic great treasure's shapeshift great art powerful energy impact on the indestructible clean bottle. The indestructible clean bottle even has a cracking surging sound. This immortal artifact can't hold back. If you go on like this immortal artifact will be broken. Divine mystic 4th layer great treasure can be a means of divine mystic cultivator. No wonder that the divine mystic great treasure can be directly stunned on the day. All the cultivators outside the valley flashed a variety of brilliance, and many old antiques were sorry. However, Wei Suo void walking footwork is in the body, constantly crossing the void, unless Wang Wei comes to the scene and personally invites Wei Suo, otherwise it is impossible for others to win the indestructible clean bottle, and it is impossible for the indestructible clean bottle to be unbroken. Next, kill Wei Suo. Chi. After a burst of surging sound, Wei Suo was still very calm, moving no beginning sword scripture, which he had just received and had never used. In addition to the indestructible clean bottle, a torrent of numerous transparent flying swords emerged, rotating around the indestructible clean bottle, from the beginning of the surging sound, quickly became a giant great treasure net. It's another supreme strong shapeshift great art. This sun actually has such a supreme strong shapeshift great art. Many cultivators can't help but exclaim. After the implementation of no beginning sword scripture, Wei Suo once again displayed the void walking footwork, which opened the gap with Lu Jinyu. The sword light from the golden sword of Lu Jinyu's head came again, but this time, the golden sword broke open. Great treasure sword flow, strangled to the bottle of indestructible clean bottle, but was blocked by the door Jizurchi. And Wei Suo's transparent flying sword is also constantly changing. Wei Suo's whole person is like driving a pen great treasure sword that runs endlessly without a transparent flying sword. Almost all the great treasure cultivators present, Wei Suo's Dao technique shapeshift great art, is a heaven-level top-rank supreme strong shapeshift great art. And this Dao technique shapeshift great art, all the old antique characters present, have never seen it. This method of shapeshift great art, it seems that as long as there is enough power, you can continue to develop a transparent flying sword, the sword flow will become more and more porate treasure, like pushing a more and more great treasure grinding disc, defending powerful energy also more amazing. This is the real supreme strong shapeshift great art, but unfortunately the sword flow that promotes such a giant treasure, the true UN power consumed is too amazing, it is inevitable to die. A very old heaven transformation cult white old antique does not know when it is also located in the secret place not far from Sushenxiu, such as Sai. In the valley, Wei Suo's silver divine light flashes, and the naked body has a huge one-ang screaming surging sound. He is indeed like pushing the giant great treasure to keep on spinning, but at the moment his mood is extremely calm. No beginning sword scripture is indeed supreme strong shapeshift great art. As long as there is enough power, it can make a more powerful great treasure sword flow. At this moment, although he promotes tens of thousands of flying swords, it seems extremely difficult. But with the indestructible clean bottle, it is enough to withstand the power of Lu Weijin plus the golden sword. And he uses the Earth Mother ancient scripture. In fact, he doesn't need to consume much true UN. He has a great treasure block in his naked body. Even if you don't use Water Emperor Sun swallowing secrets, it doesn't take any days. The problem. The most important thing is that he has been carefully aware of the powerful energy of Divine Might's unspeakable golden sword. This golden sword is just a seal of Divine Might. It is not a true divine weapon tire naked body. At this moment, he has already felt that although the change is not particularly obvious, the powerful energy of this golden sword is indeed weakening. This golden sword is definitely a long-lasting existence of shapeshift great art, and it will die. At this moment, in the eyes of all people, he has no shapeshift great art to withstand the loss of true UN, but in fact, he is very clear, and Lu Jinyu can never consume him if he wants to consume it. To this extent, the power of Wang Wei's seal broke through the naked body. On Lu Jinyu's body, it is impossible to have any pressure on the bottom of the box. In front of Wei Suo's, he is already defeated. The eyes were only flickering, Wei Suo suddenly made up his mind, his hands were a stroke, and he made a Dao venerable and went to Lu Jinyu. Pu. The sword light sprinkled on the golden sword, easily smashed the Dao venerable, and once again broke through the Pangret treasure transparent sword-like sword flow, impacting on the indestructible clean bottle. Pu puff. A respected Dao venerable kept playing, a golden sword light, and kept killing on the Pang Great Treasure Sword Flow and the indestructible Clean Bottle. Wei Suo continued to display No Beginning Sword Scripture and Celestial Emperor Falling Star. When Lu Jinaibai was close to a certain distance, he again displayed the Void Walking footwork and pulled the distance again, making Lu Jinai without shapeshift great art using Ancient Emperor weapon. Seizing Technique Suppression. One side is terrifying Divine Mystic Divine Might, one side is to touch the two supreme secret techniques to compete with them. They are all powerful energy collisions, and the voids in the entire valley are almost boiling. The two people's battle strength at the moment are comparable to the real Divine Mystic Great Treasure, allowing all the Great Treasure cultivators and old antiques outside the valley to stop pouring nebs. This may be the Golden Core stage cultivator for nearly 1,000 years. The strongest battle in the middle. The true Yuan of the sun is so strong, so it is not exhausted by true Yuan. I am waiting for the old man, there is no such divine ability, these two are still young, there is such a battle strength, in particular, Wei Suo is not like Lu Jinaiu. With the power of Wang Wushang, it is even more rare, but this child will eventually fall. Many old antique characters are secretly sighing. At the moment both sides are completely dead spell, Wei Suo's bright Wei Jun bursts silver light threads, although also dozen Lu Jinaiu bodies such as the silver flame in the burning, Lu Jinaiu inner chi in the constant aging, now Lu Jinaiu the face, has been old number 10 years old, the canthus has been covered with wrinkles, but constantly casts Celestial Emperor Falling Star remnants of the Wei Suo is more aging, now Wei Suo's face has been covered with wrinkles, the head gray, looks like a 780-year-old the old man. Although every time you make a Deo Venerable, you can kill Lu Jinaiu for 2 to 3 years of life essence, but every time you make Deo Venerable, Wei Suo itself consumes nearly 10 years of life essence. In this way, even if Wei Suo burns all life essence, it also consumes Lu Jinaiu's 670-year life essence. In the eyes of everyone watching, Wei Suo does not have any shapeshift great art at the moment, and it is already dying. He is what he is going to do. At this time, only Yin Liwa knows very well that Wei Suo and Earth Mother Ancient Scripture have already won the victory, and there is no need to use this type of shapeshift great art, and Wei Suo does not refining heavenly dragon blood fossils at all, he is obeying. Awkward, she had an undetectable flash of light in her eyes, and it instantly reflected the intention of Wei Suo's Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 790. Chapter 790 Fairy Treasures. Ling Longtian, Yin Liwa's eyes are still on the side of her Ling Longtian. She is too bold, great treasure, and don't want to do anything bad. There was a nervous look in her eyes. Under the influence of Bamang shapeshift talisman, the Ling Longtian of the red-faced great treasure Han is standing beside her, moving still and squinting. At the other end of the secret place, the eyes of several cultivators next to Heaven Catching Reverend are flashing a sense of horror. The place where Heaven Catching Reverend was originally stationed was empty. The surname Wei's kid, if you are obediently kneeling at me at this moment, be my slave, I can spare you a life in the valley. Lu Jinaiu is also uncomfortable, but there is a surging sound. Indestructible Clean Bottle traversing Wei Suo's, the Ponte Great Treasure Sword Flow is like a disc, and continues to be promoted by Wei Suo. Wei Suo still plays a respectful Deo Venerable, but it is easily smashed by the golden sword light. With each Deo Venerable, Wei Suo's breath and face become older. Are you dreaming? Wei Suo had a surging sound sternly shouted, and the surging sound became a bit old. This is hard air, but it doesn't help, there is no chance to even turn over. Some old antiques couldn't help but shake their heads and sigh. In their view, Wei Suo's best now is to directly admit defeat and call Su Shengxiu and Wang Wei to stop the showdown, so that Su Shengxiu and Wang Wei will at least be under this lust shape. Keep his scene life, at most only let him Jia origin all things. I don't mind finally breaking up your old bones, Lu Jinaiu sneered. Wei Suo's several supreme secret place shapeshift great art and this immortal artifact, he is also very tempted. he is determined to slowly use Weisuo to no battle strength, when the public is even a spare life, in the dark can also be stunned. Even if he loses some life essence, he can get any of the things on Weisuo's hand. It is a great treasure for Heavenly Emperor Dao. It has been a life essence for decades. With the ability of Heavenly Emperor Dao, it can be easily replenished. Come back. If even a few supreme secret techniques on Weisuo are available, he will definitely get even more amazing rewards. Weisuo continued to use the Celestial Emperor Falling Star. Let's go on like this, and then stimulate 20 such a shapeshift great art, he will exhaust the life essence, and die directly. Many cultivators can't help but look forward to each other, and they have been continually stimulating for more than a dozen. Under the shapeshift great art, Weisuo's face has been completely old, and it looks like a 2-year-old man with old age, revealing an old-fashioned atmosphere. It is estimated that there are only 100 years of life essence left. I still want to fight? Now our old man, even let you have not too great treasure as a first senior brother must be famous for a battle, above all the great cultivators of great treasure land, still not obediently kneeling for mercy. Several Heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple are extremely proud, constantly surging sound and laughing at Weisuo. Suddenly, Weisuo launched a counterattack, earned the indestructible clean bottle, displayed the void walking footwork, stepped out, dragged the indestructible clean bottle, appeared in the secret place behind Lu Jianyu, a white miasma, kept from indestructible among the clean bottle is poured out. The beast is still fighting. Lu Jianyu is surging sound sneer, the golden sword is turned, and the swordless light sweeps the white miasma instantly and kills it on the indestructible clean bottle. Dang! Indestructible clean bottle with the naked body, the ancient desolate giant crested armor floats again, blocking the secret place on the indestructible clean bottle. Hong, a white heavenly dragon with a giant treasure, with an amazing giant Xuanhuan, rushed out and bombarded the 4-god king shapeshift great art. Lu Jianyu surging sound screams, but also in the future to cast the ancient emperor weapon seizing technique, an emperor-like glow of the sun is also instantly formed from his head, but was broken by the white ancient heavenly dragon and the Xuanhuan. Immediately Lu Jianyu and the 4-god king shapeshift great art were slammed together, and the blood in the mouth was once again squirting. What's going on here? All the people were shocked, even Xuanhuan, Wang Weian later appeared, and the heaven transformation cult old antique that was not far behind the secret place of Xuanhuan was a sharp flash of light. The powerful energy of this golden sword has been reduced a lot. After all, this is just a section of divine might that has been sealed. Some of the power borrowed is not the real great treasure divine weapon. The powerful energy has already consumed a small half. Weisuo has for a long time and started to work hard. This is his golden core sunlight condensate, he even has a life-saving shapeshift great art great treasure. His golden core powerful energy is so terrifying, plus the blow of the shapeshift great art great treasure, which is more terrifying than the Lu Jianyu golden core 5th layer. Many cultivators reacted in an instant, and their hearts were filled with chills. The original golden sword's powerful energy, almost directly broke through the indestructible clean bottle. Weisuo at the same time no beginning sword scripture, in order to make the indestructible clean bottle intact, but at this moment, the golden sword is still the divine might unparalleled, breath vibrating the world, but no shapeshift great art caused fatal damage to the indestructible clean bottle. Give me death. In the indestructible clean bottle, Weisuo acted in full play, and the great treasure, once again condensed a Dao Venerable, hit the Lu Jianyu flying backwards, and once again displayed the void walking footwork, dragged the indestructible clean bottle, appeared behind Lu Jianyu. Pa! The golden sword was splashed and smashed by Dao Venerable, but Weisuo once again condensed the ancient heavenly dragon, which was Xuanhuan, and pressed against Lu Jianyu and the 4-god king shapeshift great art. Lu Jianyu surging sound great treasure, the top of the head spewing out countless white divine light, One and Weisuo just broke through to the golden core fourth layer, almost the same as the great treasure small ponte great treasure car small white golden core, rising its up. At this moment, Lu Jianyu saw that there was no shapeshift great art to resist, and he was even sacrificed by the golden core. So great treasure's golden core, this is the heaven level great shape, the golden core of the golden core fifth layer. Lu Jianyu is such a golden treasure of the giant treasure, so that many of the great treasure cultivators present are cold air. Even the golden core was sacrificed, and there was no more pressure on the bottom of the box. But seeing Lu Jianyu's golden core at the moment, Wei Suo's face in the indestructible clean bottle is a resurgence of calm sneer. Hong. The white ancient heavenly dragon, which was hit by the giant Xuanhuan, was smashed by Lu Jianyu's golden core, but Lu Jianyu's golden core and the naked body were also fierce. Lu Jianyu is bloody and squirting in the nose and mouth. It was also a white ancient heavenly dragon with a Dao venerable and a giant Xuanhuan. In addition to the golden core fear of being smashed by the golden sword, Wei Suo was the most powerful attack. Pu Lu Jianyu was in a huge earthquake, and he bleeds again Xuanhuan in the mouth and nose. He is flying in the air, dazzling, and the white divine light on his body has almost collapsed. Several heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple, who had previously ridiculed and sneered, all screamed at great treasure and screamed. Lu Jianyu has obviously been hit hard by the guilt, and the blood is about to vomit. Give me death. Wei Suo once again made a great treasure, which made all the great treasure cultivator and old antique characters change, Dao venerable and white ancient heavenly dragon reappear. The white divine light on Lu Jianyu was completely broken and was shot directly from the four God King shapeshift great art seeds. Pang great treasure's white golden core is also being beaten up. Dear God! Lu Jianyu was defeated. With two supreme secret techniques, borrowing a golden sword, if you have a divine mystic great treasure, you can help, and you are defeated, unimaginable. Many of the cultivators present, including the old antique level characters who have seen many great treasure scenes, can't help but exclaim the surging sound. At this moment, anyone can see that Lu Jianyu has been defeated, and even the golden core can't control it. There is no shapeshift great art at all to resist Wei Suo's next blow. Wang Wushang is definitely going to stop it. Many people's hearts, at the same time flashed such a thought, because at this moment Wang Wushang no longer stop, then Lu Jianyu must be beaten body and soul entirely exterminated. At the same time. But what everyone can't think of is that at this moment, not only Wang Wei, but Su Shengxiu also shot at the same time. I saw Su Shengxiu, a few rainbow lights, and the entire bronze mask that enveloped the valley disappeared instantly. Fellow Daoist Wei, the winners and losers have been divided, stop a glaucoma was blocked in front of Wei Suo's. At the same time, Wang Wei's naked body turned into countless divine light, like numerous light threads spread in the void, and instantly turned out in front of Lu Jianyu, which was flying backwards. With a finger, Lu Jianyu was set in the air. Zhou Jing wins. Wang Wei also had such a surging sound. He had no lust on his face and couldn't see any lust. Wei Suo did not pursue, under the ice purple magnificent light flashes, indestructible clean bottle was put away by him. I saw him full of white, face's wrinkles, not only fleshly body, even the golden core reveals the old breath. This kind of shapeshift great art damages life essence to such a degree, this person's life essence is running out. While this person wins, it is also a tragic victory. It is really impossible to draw, gold core chi is so old, let alone the shapeshift great art, even if you move other strong shapeshift great art, it will lose its vitality. He's almost like the old antique of the real year, no shapeshift great art, he has a heavy treasure on his body, and I am afraid that it will soon lead to disaster. Immortal artifact must be there. If you can get one or two things from this child, it is enough to run the world. The best time to kill this child is. For a time, countless eyes gathered on Wei Suo's, and many people's eyes were shining with greed. Wang Wei reached out and a crystal light emerged from the mouth of Lu Jianyu and flew towards Wei Suo. At the same time, Lu Jianyu's treasure-receiving pocket, the two heavenly Emperor Dao true disciples' treasure-receiving pocket, 4 God King great treasure blocks, which were shot by Wei Suo, were also swept by Wang Wei towards Wei Suo flies away. Lu Jianyu was waved by Wang Wei and flew towards 2 heavenly Emperor Dao Supreme Elder secret places outside the valley. Lu Jianyu's teeth are squeaky, and the naked body is trembled. He looks at Wei Suo with great grievances, but he does not have a surging sound. At this moment, Wang Wei threw all the things in Lu Jianyu to Wei Suo according to the agreement of the two parties. The crystal clear immortal King God crystal, sparkling, with little loss, was caught in the hands of Wei Suo. A mysterious breath and aromas provoked the nerves of all cultivators present. Very great treasure is moving. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Zy. Chapter 791. Chapter 791 Old Ghost Smile. Dong Virtual Step. Dark North Fighting Revolution. No beginning sword scripture. Even if the Wei Suo's Earth Mother ancient scripture and the supreme secret place from true immortal divine mark are not obvious, but in addition to the 3 supreme strong, almost all the cultivators present, we can be sure that there is still one on Wei Suo's. Supreme is hardened by fleshly body. Because of the shocking world war, Wei Suo's fleshly body is comparable to the level 9 ancient desolate. And what Wei Suo has done is definitely the heaven level top rank. Because I don't know the existence of Earth Mother ancient scripture, many cultivators, and even many old antiques, are secretly inferred. Wei Suo's this door is likely to be the heaven level top rank with true UN thickness, otherwise Wei Suo has no continuous push. Then the sword flow of Pang great treasure, there is no support for him to continue to swear so many respects. The supreme of heaven level top rank and heaven level top rank is strong, and for cultivator, it is supreme to great treasure. And now Wei Suo got the immortal King God crystal. Immortal King God crystal, indestructible clean bottle, town, no one is not tempted. Wei Suo divine might is unparalleled, killing divine mystic great treasure first, and in front of everyone, Lu Jianyu, who is also the same supreme, is frustrated, but he is already stunned, and a lot of old antique is like a wind and a candle, just like a tiger is getting old and only skin mao. There is no cultivator at this time, but there is an invisible storm brewing. Wei Suo came to Yin Liwa, and no amount of light sneaked on his back. You move with me. What happened? All the cultivators present felt that there was definitely an amazing great treasure in the heaven transformation cult. The surging sound rang through the sect, making the sky in the tens of miles full of vibrations. It is obviously the sect warning of the heaven transformation cult. Sound. Is it that virtue sect has a cultivator, come to one yuan this great treasure meeting? Many thoughts in the minds of many cultivators flashed in the mind. This is not Ling Longtian, it is heaven catching reverend that is against you. Yin Liwa hasn't moved yet, waiting for Wei Suo to walk in front of her, because her location at the moment, far from Sushengxiu and Wang Wei, should be explored by divine consciousness of 2 divine mystic great treasures. At this moment, the vibration of the entire heaven transformation cult gate sounded. Yin Liwa's naked body could not help but tremble, his face was unconscious, and he gave a look to Wei Suo, and the sound was transmitted into Wei Suo's ear. What? Wei Suo's breathing stopped for a moment, and the scalp was slightly numb. This dead steel teeth younger sister. The god lust on Wei Suo's face has not changed significantly, but the heart is gnashing his teeth. For a time, I don't know how long Ling Longtian doesn't know. This dead steel teeth younger sister really wants great treasure. Don't tell, Yin Liwa's eyes and this sentence, let Wei Suo know that Ling Longtian is doing what? Ling Longtian was very coveted from the primordial beginning divine wood in the heaven transformation cult, but Wei Suo has repeatedly reminded her not to come. At the moment, there are not only two divine mystic great treasures, but heaven transformation cult. I don't know how many amazing things. If Ling Longtian is made, even if he is desperate, he may not be able to run out of heaven transformation cult. Taking a step back, even if you can run out of heaven transformation cult, I am afraid that Yin Corp sect will be directly devastated. Now that he is in the hands of immortal King God Crystal, he has got a good secret place of heaven treasure, and deliberately hit the life essence almost exhausted. The scene cultivator does not know that he has great treasure amount heavenly dragon blood fossil in hand, those originally if you want to deal with his cultivator, you will definitely be unable to do it after the great treasure. By the time there is a Ling Longtian such a guy who is not yet obvious, you can definitely kill the square with great treasure, and get a good secret place with great treasure. Aftertaste, aftertaste. This great treasure will not get any news about Bhutan nature holy fruit, and the good secret place is enough. However, Ling Longtian actually smashed such a great treasure, and even dared to go into the hinterland of heaven transformation sect. Wei Suo can be sure that the primordial beginning divine wood is supreme to great treasure. It must be in the doorway of heaven transformation section. Even if you succeed, it may not be easy to escape without a trace. And Sushengxiu doesn't seem to have obvious killing intent to him at this moment. The enemy is unclear. Even if he succeeds today, if he is known to be primordial beginning divine wood divine root, he will certainly provoke a great treasure enemy. Reply to close the reply 2011-10-1716:15. I am not like Beckham. Core member 6. 5th floor. At this moment, Wei Suo's brow was another violent jump, and his eyes could not help but flash. It's really a matter of getting together. Wei Suo sensed at the moment that his great treasure, mind-devouring bug, just woke up at this time. Shua. A red brilliance emerged from the white mist, and the original shadow appeared in front of Sushengxiu. This is a 30-year-old young man, already a golden core third-layer cultivation base, wearing a luxurious red dress, extraordinary, dashing eyebrows. Many cultivators present recognize that this young cultivator is Jin Duyu, one of Heaven Transformation cult true disciple. I saw Jin Duyu's look very ugly, mouth net fretting, obviously in Sushengxiu to report sound transmission. Hong. Sushengxiu's breath suddenly slammed, and there seemed to be a thunder in the sky above. Please fellow deist. Wait a moment, some of us have sneaked into Heaven Transformation cult and destroyed some of my Heaven Transformation cult. Sushengxiu coldly surging sound sounded immediately. What, some people dare to sneak into Heaven Transformation cult? Now two divine mystic great treasures can be in the Heaven Transformation cult. Who dares to be such a great treasure surrounded by silence throughout the valley? Almost everyone except Wei Suo and Yin Liwa felt incredible. And from the obvious shock of Sushengxiu, this person is sure to move something extremely important in the Heaven Transformation cult. The man destroyed a lot of restrictions and seemed to enter my Heaven Transformation cult from our secret place. Fellow deist, please stay in place and check if there are fewer who around. Sushengxiu's surging sound continued to pass, and his gaze was swept across all the cultivators present. Who is missing? The few cultivators around Heaven Catching Reverend are obviously white and look different. These cultivators have not yet surging sound, they have been noticed by Sushengxiu. Among the magnificent light flashes, Sushengxiu has already arrived at these cultivators. In front of you. Heaven Catching Reverend, an old man in a grey coat had some trepidation and answered. Mother Hummer, it's really killing people. Wei Suo secretly gnashed his teeth, and the rest of his eyes glanced at the Ling Longtian next to him. At the moment, the Ling Longtian next to him and Yin Liwa is actually Heaven Catching Reverend, which was made by Ling Longtian and Yin Liwa. Although listening to Sushengxiu's voice at the moment, it seems that Ling Longtian has not been caught yet, but if Sushengxiu and Wang Wei are now in the side of their own, Kadach Reverend is on their own side, and there is only one person on his side, then he and Yin Liwa can't get rid of it. She also told me to tell you that if you have the chance, you will hear the surging sound like an old ghost, and you will have an indestructible clean bottle once again. Yin Liwa is also extremely nervous, and Wei Suo is tightly attached, and the sound transmission is in his ear. Would you like an indestructible clean bottle? Still old-fashioned Jian laugh surging sound, why didn't she directly kill her and directly become an old ghost? Anyway, she is old enough. Wei Suo hated his teeth and it hurts. If Ling Longtian is next to him, he can't wait to bite her. Heaven-catching Reverend, at this time, Su Shengxiu's eyes flash, directed to several heaven transformation cult disciple who came from the direction of the White U platform, said, check out, in addition to heaven-catching Reverend, which one is missing? Deist. The heaven transformation cult disciple is responsible for the reception. It seems to have a record. Just after a quick lap, it immediately falls under Su Shengxiu, to report, Sect Master, except heaven-catching Reverend and 2 Heavenly Emperor Dao disciple. In addition, the rest of the fellow Daoist are there. Pu. At the moment, Lu Jinai was in the process of healing the 2 first Heavenly Emperor Dao Supreme Elder who came to the Great Treasure meeting. When he heard this, he suddenly blew it out. The rest of Heavenly Emperor Dao true disciple is also extremely ugly, staring at Wei Suo. Only heaven-catching Reverend is not there. Su Shengxiu looked at the heaven transformation cult true disciple waiting for a moment, and Jin Duyu immediately swept out of the heaven transformation cult. It seems that it is necessary to immediately use the power of the whole sect to block all cities around, lest this person escape. Many cultivators present at the scene saw the signs. Hey, oh. At this time, a secret place in the door of heaven transformation cult suddenly came out with a sharp smirk surging sound. Mother Hummer. How to find opportunities. Wei Suo suddenly felt a surging sound in his heart, and he knew that this was definitely the old ghost-like surging sound of Ling Longtian. You are waiting here for a moment. Without a slight pause, Su Shengxiu turned into a cyan streamer, and immediately shot at the direction of the secret place. You want to do what? Seeing Su Shengxiu figure disappeared completely into the white mist, Wei Suo is in the heart of the great treasure, smashed a surging sound, slammed his teeth, and called a surging sound against a cultivator great treasure on the left side. At the same time, the indestructible clean bottle was sacrificed without any stops. In a moment, the indestructible clean bottle was like a black dong, devour all the brilliance, and the surrounding tens of miles rounded into the darkness. What happened? Many cultivators are exclaimed, and many cultivators are subconsciously offering defense against great treasure. I don't know what happened suddenly. All stay in place, do not have any action, offenders kill. Wang Wei. The extremely cold surging sound sounded immediately. Fellow Daoist Wei, stop this piece of great treasure, otherwise, kill. But at this time, the darkness of the air suddenly burst out of the surging sound, at least 5 or 6 cultivators, flying over the sky. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 792. Chapter 792 Revisit Little Heavenly Realm. Deceased liar. Yes, at this time, a surging sound was introduced into Wei Suo's ear. Mother Hummer. In the dark, Wei Suo's face was very ugly, and a kindling intent from Wang Wei surged. He immediately reached out and closed the indestructible clean bottle. What happened? Many cultivators' eyes swept to Wei Suo's. At the same time, there were 6 heaven transformation cult cultivators in the sky. The 6 heaven transformation cult cultivator cultivation bases are mixed. Some of them are only the cultivation base of the heavenly circuit realm 4th layer. They are just ordinary disciples, but there is also a grey old man, but it is the cultivation base of the golden core 2nd layer. It is also the heaven transformation cult. Elders. At the moment, the 6 cultivators of heaven transformation cult are all looking left and right. Wang Wei's divine light shapeshift great art has been close to Wei Suo only a few hundred feet away. After coldly sweeping Wei Suo, he immediately asked these heaven transformation cult cultivators. What happened, /p? I don't know, we are all caught up, no shapeshift great art, just lost. After a few glances at the heaven transformation cult cultivator, they all responded. As it caught in the heaven transformation cult mountain gate, he great treasure on the scene. Most cultivators are unbelievable. Among the 6 heaven transformation cult cultivators, there is the giant treasure cultivator of the golden core second layer. If it is in other places, it is understandable that it is lust, but in this heaven transformation cult, so many names the cultivator is caught and not yet detected by heaven transformation cult's cultivator, which is really amazing. What is the other party like? Wang Wei continued to ask divine light. Don't know. Did not see. Why naked body spirit light and shapeshift great art great treasure were instantly broken, and they were stopped when they didn't have time to return, /p. 6 heaven transformation cult cultivators, including the heaven transformation cult elders of the golden core second layer, are ugly heads, and the 6 heaven transformation cult cultivators are held in different places, without seeing each other at all. The face is instantly caught. Dead steel teeth. Younger sister, are you looking for death? Mother Hummer, you do this so that I will definitely become a target of the next generation. Don't you be afraid of Xuanhuan and Wang Wei. At this time, Wei Suo's sound transmission was in the Ling Longtian ear. The current Ling Longtian is already a real Ling Longtian. Her shapeshift great art is like a bottomless dong. The unfortunate heaven-catching reverend has been installed directly by her without any trace. When you are afraid of it, Wang Wei is not a real body. His divine mark shapeshift great art has a level of perception of only divine mystic second layer cultivation base, which is similar to Xuanhuan. It is impossible to see anything different. You are very good at the dead liar, you are very willing to give up the blood, and you will be the same as the old ghost who is going to sit down. Ling Longtian's next disappointing sound transmission made Wei Suo want to slap on her face. Why are you just shapeshift great art great treasure? At this moment, Wu Wei, who couldn't ask why, turned and stared at Wei Suo. The golden divine mark in his body dang screamed at the killing intent of the great treasure. He was staring at me very greedy. I thought he was going to shoot me right away. The following consciousness is the shapeshift great art great treasure. Wei Suo took a little bit of the cultivator he called against the great treasure. Oh, how can I get a shot at this secret place? He cultivator suddenly screamed. The cultivator wore a water green shapeshift great art suit with a face of only 40, but it was the sect master at the beginning of the day. The first door was a sect of the same grade as Yin Corp's section. This person's cultivation base is also extraordinary, with golden core third layer late stages cultivation base. But now in the heaven transformation cult, in the face of Wang Wei's level of cultivator, he naturally does not have shapeshift great art to remain calm. Do you dare say that you didn't look at me? Your eyes are filled with killing intent, and there is no shapeshift great art. Eisuo of the old dragon clock looked at the man and said. Sect master shook his head again and again. Fellow Daoist Wei, you misunderstood, just down to fellow Daoist divine might, and look at fellow Daoist's eyes. There is absolutely no disdain for fellow Daoist. Jokes, so much to the great treasure, who cannot be tempted, many cultivators secretly sneer. From the words of sect master at the beginning of the day and the attitude at this time, it is certain that sect master is sure to want to touch the heavy treasure of Wei Suo. From the perspective of divine ability of fellow Daoist Wei, these reactions are really suspicious. Wang Wei's divine light shapeshift great art has no surface lust, and the surging sound is very cold. I may have been a little bitchy, but in my current state, I have to guard against it. Aid Wei Suo. This person is close to the oil, and there is a heavy treasure in the body. It is naturally easier to be scared and shocked. Many cultivators blink and they all feel that the reaction like Wei Suo is normal. After your Ji shapeshift great art great treasure, these heaven transformation cult fellow deists were thrown in. The timing was too coincidental. No shapeshift great art is undoubted. Wang Wei. I continued to look at Wei Suo. Act Master Wang, do you suspect that I am covering the person? Ei Suo cursed Steel Teeth younger sister and argued, even if someone wants to escape, it is impossible to have so many people from our secret place, and that heaven catching reverend and I have a great treasure, and I was defeated by me in a fight. I am not good at killing him, how can I help this person? /p. It should be just a coincidence. Many old antiques also secretly nod. Wei Suo is also a disappointing victory for Lu Jinyu. Even if he and Heaven Catching Reverend are a group, just planning a good show, Heaven Catching Reverend will not give Lu Jinyu something like Immortal King God Crystal. Wang Wei didn't ask again, but Wei Suo felt that Wang Wei's divine consciousness had been swept a few times on his own old man with Yin Liwa, Ling Longtian and Black Wind, and obviously couldn't be suspicious. But after Wang Wei divine consciousness swept it a few times, there was no abnormality, and divine consciousness swept through the valley several times. In addition to the addition of these heaven transformation sect cultivators, there was no more cultivator on site. Chi/P. A group of white mist broke open, and Sushenxu went back and looked very ugly. It seems that after a few sound transmissions with Wang Wei, Sushenxu outsurging sound, please take fellow deist to move, and heavenly transformation union will start right away immediately. Sushenxu and Wang Wei did not stop, leading the way, and all cultivators returned to the White U platform. On the platform of Baiyu, there were 6 or 70 cultivators. These cultivator Jiao talked about the sigh of sighing without seeing the confrontation between Wei Suo and Lu Jinyu, and looking at Wei Suo, who was hanging down. The fundus of these cultivators is also like a dark bow. Which heaven catching reverend sneaked into heaven transformation cult sect? What exactly do you want to do? Now I don't know if I was caught by heaven transformation cult. /p. Maybe heaven catching reverend is instructed by achievement and virtue section. He is a golden core 4th layer cultivation base. He naturally does not have a brainless thing. He dares to make troubles in the heaven transformation cult. There should be a safe escape from shapeshift. Great art. Sushenxu's face is not good. Heaven transformation cult must have a great loss of great treasure. /p. When they were sitting on the white Yulian stage, all the cultivators present were secretly spiritedly. Only Wei Suo and Yin Liwa and Ling Longtian knew the truth. Dead Steel Teeth younger sister, did you succeed? Wei Suo deliberately sat in the middle of the venue, so that there were layers of cultivators around. Even if there was a secret shapeshift great art by Wang Wei and Sushenxu, it was difficult to find out his sound transmission to Ling Longtian. Ling Longtian did not answer, but was very proud. I tell you not to come to Wan Yuan, you actually dare to do this. Her god lust made Wei Suo hate it. What about the old ghost-like smile? But at the same time he was very curious about Sushenxu's sharp laughing sound. He could hear that the laughing surging sound came out of the hinterplace of heaven transformation cult. It was far away and could not be Ling Longtian. Out. It a ghost, it not uncommon to see it in a store in Yin Corp's sect, stopped a guy and let him swallow it. Ing Longtian saying with sound transmission. Ghost laughs grass. You secretly bring something like this to do what on your body? Mother Hummer, are you originally prepared to deal with me? Ei Suo couldn't help but directly hit Ling Longtian's face. Ghost laughing grass is a peculiar spirit grass. There is no great treasure in addition to the people involved. Ling Longtian's current confrontation seems to be only one of Wei Suo. Who said, I can't play with it. Ling Longtian is very proud. Dead Steel Teeth younger sister, what other damn thing are you secretly hiding? Wei Suo is shouting. Here's mine. Ling Longtian turned over roll one's eyes, I don't need to tell you. Hide your head. Oh you, my heavenly transformation union officially started this time. Sushenxu and Wang Wei's divine light shapeshift great art sit on the front of the shapeshift great art, announcing that great treasure will begin. Wei Suo knows that heaven transformation cult is such a great transformation alliance that there must be something about shapeshift great art, not too much with Ling Longtian, and calm down to listen to Sushenxu's words. My heaven transformation cult was made up of such a coalition because it involved a secret reservation of great treasure. Is the secret place of great treasure? Sure enough, Sushenxu, Wei Suo and all the cultivators present, couldn't help but feel shocked. Received a message from Sect Master Wang before, and Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect have teamed up. And two of them got a secret place from Ancient Cloud Realm Sect in Little Heavenly Realm. Yushengxiu's surging sound continues to come out, this secret place technique, about borrowing Heaven's Dome powerful energy. By using Heaven's Dome powerful energy, it's like the cultivator of Divine Sea First Layer wants to joe the power of Heavenly Emperor Divine Weapon for its own use, and dare to do such crazy things. Hearing Sushenxiu, Ling Longtian couldn't help but swallow. Little Heavenly Realm, Wei Suo and Yin Liwa sighed at the same time and couldn't help but look at each other. He and Yin Liwa met in Little Heavenly Realm, and he listened to green-robed old man and knew very well. Cloud Realm Sect just wants to use Heaven's Dome powerful energy and it is destroyed in the backlash of Heaven's Dome powerful energy. And from the mouth of Yufeng Reverend, Wei Suo also learned that Northern Bright Sect and Fearless Heavenly Palace, Nether's top-rank cultivator, including two divine mystic great treasures, were all in the process of testing Heaven's Dome. Heaven's Dome's powerful energy is enough to kill divine mystic, and even sect, dare to move Heaven's Dome's idea. Liwa, what happened to Little Heavenly Realm? Eisuo immediately sent a sound transmission to Yin Liwa and asked for this. Listening to Sushenxu, Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect, the other two great cloud treasures of Cloud Spirit Continent, are likely to be the legacy of Cloud Realm Sect using Heaven's Dome powerful energy. Place surgery. Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect can't help but know that Cloud Realm Sect is destroyed by the secret place shapeshift great art. If you dare to use it, then the Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect have a new understanding in this secret place, or get the Cloud Realm Sect surviving cultivator to organize the secret place experience. At that time, Wei Suo had a great secret place from the great heavenly realm, but only the important secret place Wei Suo had already been explored. So after returning to Cloud Spirit Continent, Wei Suo forgot to ask the secret place. Ancient Ruins Lust Condition. The news of Little Heavenly Realm spread out later. Soon after we went in and explored, many great sects great treasure cultivators flooded into Little Heavenly Realm. Little Heavenly Realm has been turned over many times by many forces, except for some at this moment. Restrictions are still outside, there is nothing, it is already dead. Yin Liwa sound transmission to Wei Suo. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 793. Chapter 793 does not want him to live. Borrow Heaven's Dome powerful energy. Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect dare to break Heaven's Dome. As soon as Sushenxu came out, all the cultivators on the entire White U stage were also in turmoil. Sect Master, is this really true? At the moment, there are several great sect old antiques that will sit down and can't help but ask for the surging sound. This matter and Sect Master Wang can guarantee the warranty, which is correct. If not, Heavenly Emperor Dao will not support my Heaven Transformation cult to form the Great Transformation Alliance. Sushenxu replied. Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect are crazy, aren't they? Afraid to repeat the Cloud Realm Sect, a grey old man in a wooden coat with wood grain on his body couldn't help but drink. With Cloud Realm Sect first, even if they want to take advantage of Heaven's Dome powerful energy, they will definitely not try it in their own section, Sushenxu said, and even if it fails, if you damage Heaven's Dome, it will make a gap in Heaven's Dome Nong, and it will be a great treasure for the entire cultivation world. True, the previous sect master, who was pointed by Weisuo, surprised the surging sound. If the heaven's dome is close to which city may be directly destroyed in the beast net. Achievement and virtue sect and immortal ascension sect great treasure, how they do it, we don't have shapeshift great art interference. But if they really touch heaven's dome, it will definitely have a great treasure impact on the entire cloud spirit continent cultivation world. Xuanhuan went on to say, Heaven's Dome Ripper is known by the heavenly profound continent northern part Heaven's Dome at this moment Heaven's Dome great treasure the land northern part has become a wasteland, and countless cultivators have fallen so my heaven transformation cult organization of this alliance is not to provoke any disputes, but if there is any great treasure change, the sect can support each other. Does Xuanhuan and Wang Wei also know from some records that Heaven's Dome life essence will do? Wei Suo's eyes flashed slightly. Xuanhuan's words made him vaguely feel that the Xuanhu secret place was meant to be wary of the breakdown of Heaven's Dome. Achievement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect on Heaven Transformation Cult and Heavenly Emperor Dao, in case of fighting, it is to overthrow the entire Cloud Spirit Continent cultivation world. Heaven Transformation Cult is really under pressure from Achievement and Virtue Sect to organize this alliance. How powerful is the Heaven's Dome? In case of Achievement and Virtue Sect, using Heaven's Dome powerful energy, I don't know what kind of great treasure can be produced. For a time, the entire giant great treasure floating on the island like white U platform, the hearts of all cultivators are very shocking. And at this time, Wei Suo suddenly felt a secret place on his left rear, and someone was watching himself from time to time. Xuanhuan old ancestor, he did not move the surging sound color and swept sideways, but the brow was a fierce beat. The old man sitting there with a low-browed eyebrow and wearing a khaki robe is Sima Xuanhuan old ancestor. It seems that Xuanhuan old ancestor was one step behind Wei Suo. There was no time to see the match between Wei Suo and Lu Jinyu, and Wei Suo didn't notice his existence for a while. Between Wei Wo and Wei Suo, Xuanhuan old ancestor's eyes suddenly showed some worried feelings, apparently worried about the secret place of Wei Suo at the moment. Wei Suo did not move the surging sound color and made a look at Xuanhuan old ancestor, so he no longer looked at the direction of Xuanhuan old ancestor. Today, apart from fellow Daoist who came to participate in the following Jiaoyuhui, the rest are followed by the Great Treasure Reduction, which has been added to the Heavenly Transformation Union section. In addition to uncovering this secret place, the purpose of convening this alliance is to let all the sects know. If there is a sect against the sect in the future, my Heaven Transformation Cult and Heavenly Emperor Dao will be severely punished. Xuanhuan continues. Even without the Agreement and Virtue Sect and Immortal Ascension Sect, it is good that the great treasures are allied to avoid conflicts. However, in the event of a conflict, Heaven Transformation Cult will be secret place. I am afraid that it will be too busy. A middle-aged cultivator wearing a gold shirt came out of the surging sound. The middle-aged cultivator is the sect master of the Heavenly Palace, which is also a great sect of the size of the Yin Corp section. This person's words also have a certain weight. This is precisely to discuss with you. According to me and Sect Master Wang, it is to directly select 30 fellow Daoists at this great treasure meeting to form the Great Transformation Alliance. The Presbyterian Church, when there is something great treasure, it will be decided directly by the Presbyterian. Xuanhuan said. The formation of the Presbyterian Church, to avoid Heaven Transformation Cult and Heavenly Emperor Dao arbitrarily, can be mutually restrained. This side shapeshift great art is feasible. It is a great treasure now. If you don't agree, you must be wearing small shoes in the future. All the cultivators present are in the dark. I agree with the proposal of Su Sect Master the Palace Lord, wearing a gold shirt, first stated. Our God Ruzong also agrees. My Suanji house also agrees with this. After the opening of the Palace Lord of the Heavenly Palace, many sects have expressed their attitudes at a time. Seeing the great treasure, the other sects who had some concerns have also agreed. The next step is to select the Great Transformation Alliance Presbyterian members. A round of elections, because Yin Corp sect is a relationship between Great Sect and Xuanhuan Old Ancestor cultivation base. Yin Liwa and Xuanhuan Old Ancestor are both members of the Presbyterian Church. Among them, the remaining Presbyterian members, not the Great Sect master like Yin Liwa, are old antique figures with deep knowledge. Then Heaven Transformation Cult took out a gold monument and let all the sects engrave the inscription on the golden monument, and vowed to form an alliance. If there is a violation, it will become the enemy of the Great Transformation Alliance. After the engraving of this piece of the Golden League, the Heaven Transformation Cult gate was sent directly, and the restrictions were used to seal the secret mountain of the outer peak of the outer city. Heaven Transformation Cult takes out many heavenly Dao pills that are unique to Heaven Transformation Cult and distribute them to each invited sect cultivator. Yin Liwa and the old people of Weisuo, Ling Longtian and Black Wind sect also each got one. This kind of Danyao can upgrade the golden cultivator to the following cultivation base. It belongs to earth level Danyao. Heaven Transformation sect has taken out so many kinds of heavenly Dao pill in one fell swoop. It is really amazing that sect has no shapeshift grade at all. The contrast of art. After completing this step, the great treasure will come to an end, and then all the cultivators will be on hand, including a lot of lines, and the old antiques will be very much expected. Because the number of cultivators on the scene is very horrible, it is rare, so Heaven Transformation Cult directly uses a lot of great treasure type Jiao exchange means, took out a long prepared giant great treasure White U, as a bulletin board. Each cultivator can publish the message of the great treasure that he wants to purchase and some of the great treasures he wants to use. The giant great treasure White U has already been arranged, and it will be turned into black characters immediately after the true UN sent, and it will appear on the surface. For a time all the cultivators were on the scene. Weisuo did not hesitate, but also according to the good rules, directly shot, Yin Corp sect Weisuo, seeking Buddha nature holy fruit, seeking rank 6 above water attribute monster core, seeking to upgrade golden core cultivator life essence Yao. Buddha nature holy fruit, Yin Corp sect was originally purchased by 2 pieces of Dao rank high grade shapeshift great art great treasure. It turned out to be this child. This child wants such an extremely rare holy fruit. I don't know what to do. High level water attribute Danyao. This sub-repair should be water attribute Gong shapeshift great art. Is it to use high level water attribute Danyao with cultivation? This life essence will be exhausted, and it is already the cultivation base of the golden core 4th layer mid-level. It will be hopeless in a short period of time. It seems that it is necessary to purchase the life essence at all costs. The entire great treasure meeting site did not know how many pairs of eyes secretly stared at Weisuo's. Weisuo hit the purchase of things, a lot of familiar cultivator, they have begun to secretly talk about it. I'm afraid no who will be easy with him. Why, this person is comparable to divine mystic, there must be a lot of good things on the body. And he is at the end of the road. If you use some of the secret place of the body to take out the Qiao, do not know how many people will be crazy. Lu Jinyu has been sent out to heal, but Heavenly Emperor Dao has several old antique characters and a lot of true disciple, as well as the great treasure cultivator of Purple Yang sect and the wide shapeshift great art. To give him something definitely will make these people dissatisfied, and I am afraid that there are not many people who want him to live, and the fairy treasure is moving, and if this child is not dead, he will enter divine mystic, and he does not know what kind of divine ability, no great treasure. Most cultivators do not want such people to live. This age is comparable to divine mystic, and simply heaven-defying, especially the young cultivator of this generation. I certainly don't want such a person to keep on the head. As more and more cultivators buy the great treasures for the Jiao exchange and the giant great treasure White U, the atmosphere of the entire eternal Jiao exchange venue becomes extremely hot, and many of the usual cultivation world is difficult. Scene artifact refinement materials, spiritual Yao and other things have appeared, but many cultivators secretly speculate that no who will go to Weisuo Jiao Yi. Sure enough, as many cultivators secretly speculate, although it is not known how many eyes pay attention to Wei Suo's every move, but Wei Suo and Yin Liwa, Ling Longtian and Black Wind sect are nearby, but it is a vacuum. Within a few feet around, there are no cultivators. Many cultivators are afraid of being too close to Wei Suo and getting into trouble with great treasure. Deceased liar, I see now the great treasure. Half of the cultivator wants to Nong Dai Yu. Ling Longtian sneered, her hearing is different from the cultivator, and many people's sound transmissions are heard. It seems that no one will take the initiative to come out with me. Look at the things that these people have shot. Are there any good things to get? Wei Suo sneered a little, ignoring the voyeur of many people, took ghost raising jar out, sneaked in a drop of fire earth dragon blood, and then put ghost raising jar in his arms. Anyway, his indestructible clean bottle and Gentian shapeshift great art are enough to make people's eyes red, so he does not have any secret place in the cultivator at the moment. You can perceive the existence of artifact spirit. Old ancestor, don't have any contact with us first, I will give you a sound transmission when I have a chance. Divine consciousness swept to Xuanhuan. Old ancestor was pretending to look at the things on the white U, approaching these people. Wei Suo immediately moved the sound of the sound to the eyes of Xuanhuan. Old ancestor. Xuanhuan. Old ancestor was very alert. He didn't have a sound transmission, but went to the other side. Next, Wei Suo still put on a very urgent, very anxious god lust, seriously looking at the white U on the cultivator, announced the purchase and the great treasure for the Jiao exchange. Wangu Jinji Chi Akasaka divine iron, immortal muscle jade, so much to great treasure. Ids _crew first name Commonwealth 26. Green-robed old man's burst of Joe-like surging sound, constantly rang in his ears. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 794. Chapter 794 Active Intercourse. Body. Chapter 794 Active Intercourse Easy. Wangu Jinji is a kind of great treasure that has been growing for more than 10,000 years. It can strengthen bones. Even if you have not repaired body refinement technique shapeshift great art, after taking refining, the bones will become golden yellow and strong. It is comparable to upper grade essence metal and is extremely rare. Divine iron, which is a legacy of ancient cultivator, does not know how many essence metal hybrids are used in the red stained essence metal, which is comparable to top grade essence metal, and is compatible with a variety of origin chi, especially fire attribute origin chi is the best compatible material and is one of the best materials for refining the fire attribute shapeshift great art great treasure. Cyan jade, crystal, and moist, with the skin texture of a jade, can be degraded in many high-level monster core origin chi. This kind of jade has always been the material that many concocting pills great treasure teachers dream of. Wood King umbrella, an umbrella-like strange tree, can absorb wood spirit origin chi, culture wood attribute, shapeshift great arts cultivator, as long as planting a tree beside it, under this kind of tree, culture speed will increase a lot. The intercourse for the great treasure will be rare in both scale and grade, and many of the great treasures recorded in the classics are born. And many of the cultivator purchases are also very strange, the level is very high. Dear God, Evil King's Eye. Suddenly, many cultivators issued a great treasure surging sound. Evil King's Eye, I don't think there is such a thing to be born. Ling Longtian and Wei Suo, green-robed old man and Yin Liwa were also shocked. It turned out that an old talisman's old antique wanted to shoot intercourse, and Evil King's Eye appeared. Evil King's Eye is the eye of the one-eyed Evil King, and the one-eyed Evil King is the level 9 monster beast that exists in some ancient desolate abyss. There is only one eyeball, and the eye of this level 9 monster beast is unique. The role of the cultivator divine consciousness can be used to refine the different great treasure that hurts the other divine consciousness. Level 9 monster beast, the original beast, the ancient beast in the ancient desolate abyss, is even more rare. Great treasure. Most of the records seen by cultivators, only 5,000 years ago, a genius cultivator got an evil king's eye, which was later used to make an evil king jewel crown, which made many cultivation base beyond its. Many cultivators are afraid to be against it. Later, they have never seen the record of evil king's eye, and they will not be able to reproduce the trace at this great treasure meeting. Divine consciousness attacks the shapeshift great art great treasure, ignoring all origin chi shapeshift great art great treasure defenses, and unlike the divine consciousness shapeshift great art, there will be backlash. This kind of thing, for all cultivators, it's amazing to great treasure. This ancient talisman's old antique is only the cultivation base of the golden core second layer middle stage, and it has been smashed, the teeth have been lost, and the body is fading, giving people the feeling that they will die at any time, no more than 10 years. Life essence. The ancient talisman was originally a small sect that was not even better than C immortal section. The old antique itself had no understanding of who, and no smoke was noticed. At this moment, he played the word evil king's eye, and suddenly the great treasure heap cultivator wrap it up. Inc. Reverend, this person is the teacher of the ancient talisman sect master, usually does not have the ancient talisman Xuanhuan originally, this name is not known to the old antique, and it is also known to be uploaded. What kind of great treasure do you want to use for this intercourse? What do you want to change with evil king's eye intercourse? Can you take out the evil king's eye first and let the fellow deist appreciate it? The fellow deist who is present, I am afraid I have never seen this to great treasure. Many sect master and great sects old antique characters are going forward, and their eyes are extremely hot. Wei Suo is of course very heartwarming, and is approaching the old antique who is wearing a grey cloth and looks like he will die at any time. Dead steel teeth younger sister, clever, don't mess with me anymore. Wei Suo once again warned Ling Longtian that this long-horned little girl had seen the heaven-shaking great treasure scene, and that the courage of the great treasure was dying. At this moment, Wei Suo knew that she had succeeded and would not even ask any questions about primordial beginning divine wood. Lust, for fear of being heard by who in secret place, as soon as they are promoted, they will be miserable. You don't call steel teeth younger sister. The 4 words will be safer, and the old man who hangs down, Ling Longtian sound transmission to Wei Suo's ear. Wei Suo turned over the roll one's eyes, and at the moment a thrilling surging sound sounded, and the old talisman's old antique was taken out of the evil king's eye. This is a small eyeball with half a fist, great treasure, the yellowed body is faint yellow, the inner middle has a grey stripe, like a pupil, and the naked body flashes with a lustrous luster, which exudes a strong ancient desolate breath. The appearance gives a feeling that it is not like an eyeball, but a strange crystal stone. As soon as this thing was taken out, the cultivator within a radius of 100 feet felt an invisible giant great treasure pressure, and there was a feeling of heavy things pressing in their minds. This is the real evil king's eye, even Sushenxiu and Wanghui I have come over, divine mystic breath is even more terrifying pressure, so suffocating. Inc. Fellow deist, what do you want to use for intercourse? Sushenxiu looked at the grey-haired old man. Divine mystic great treasure can open, no one dares to fight, this old antique is suddenly quiet. I want a piece of Tianjing. The grey-haired old man was holding evil king's eye and looked at Sushenxiu with his eyes dimly. He said slowly, I just need this thing, don't want anything else. Continue Tianjing. This kind of crystal element is only useful for the treatment of the naked body. Isn't ancient talisman an extinct naked body? Naked body is special, comparable to heaven spirit root cultivator, culture is extremely fast, but by the age of 30, it will suddenly die and die. It is a genius that is doomed to die. Treatment. But after the cure, the speed of the inflation of the naked body is still very amazing, it must become a great treasure. This old antique is not used for intercourse. It can be used to promote life essence. It is not to save your life. It is a genius cultivator for section. Ah, unfortunately, we don't have this thing on hand, otherwise there is more than one great treasure. Evil King's Eye bruises divine consciousness. Even if you encounter a strong great treasure opponent, you can let the other side without shapeshift great art long battle. It's _crew_ first name _Commonwealth _26. After hearing the gray old man to continue Tianjing, green-robed old man suddenly depressed and even the great treasure called. Continue Tianjing? I have a piece of heaven transformation cult. I don't know if the fellow deist is now, or will I wait for the great treasure to follow me. Sushengxiu did not hesitate, looking at the gray old man. Heaven transformation cult has this thing. As soon as I heard Sushengxiu say, all the cultivators present were secretly sighing, knowing that this thing has fallen into the hands of heaven transformation cult, even if the scene cultivator also has the continuation of Tianjing, and decided not to face the business with Sushengxiu. I want to change the Interjing now. The gray-haired old man's eyes are dim, but he is very sure. God blood did not have any nonsense. Not far behind the secret place, a heaven transformation cult disciple nodded. The heaven transformation cult disciple left immediately, but for a moment, he went back and handed a small, grayish gelatin crystal stone to the gray old man. The gray-coated veteran will change the evil King's Eye intercourse, where all the cultivators are hot, and then point the green treasure-like crystal stone of the fist great treasure to a young cultivator wearing a cyan essence metal armor. Is this person the ancient talisman sect of the naked body? Many cultivators have discovered that the young cultivator who came to the great treasure with this gray old man is only 20 years old, but it is already the cultivation base of the golden core first layer, and the face of this young cultivator is somewhat pathologically pale. At first glance, there is no general young golden core cultivator. The next scene confirmed the judgment of the people. The face was somewhat sharp, and the young cultivator with a pale face was taken over by Sui Jing, and immediately cut into small pieces, then directly swallowed it and started refining on the spot. In the young cultivator of the Cloud Spirit Continent generation, I heard that only the true treasure of Immortal Ascension sect is the Heaven Spirit Root cultivator, and now the ancient talisman is also a non-degraded naked body cultivator. The ancient talisman sect also has a talented cultivator with amazing achievements. Seeing this scene, many cultivator hearts suddenly emerged such a thought. Evil King's Eye was directly captured by Sushengxiu, and all the cultivators around the old man in gray were lost interest and all spread out. Seeing that there was no one to care about, the lonely old man who would soon sit down in the gray coat, Wei Suo shook his head and secretly sighed a surging sound. So many people want to kill me? It seems that these great treasure cultivators are really few people have lust taste. Just to have a heavy treasure on my body, I want to kill me? If you want to kill me, it depends on whether you have the skills. After a while, Wei Suo, who returned to the front of the white giant wall, could not help but send out a surging sound in his heart. This time, it turned out that there was not even a cultivator that came up with Wei Suo intercourse. In addition to Buddha nature holy fruit, the rest of Wei Suo's request is not particularly difficult to find. So many sect master, supreme elder, and Kaishan Lipai characters gather here, and certainly someone has him. Something you want. And this time some cultivators that have not been invited, take the initiative to come. Not some of the most important old antique characters, is the top character in Rogue Cultivator, otherwise it is not enough. Even if you have the guts to come to participate in the great treasure, Heaven Transformation Cult doesn't necessarily give face to let him participate. Wei Suo certainly knows that many cultivators are extremely jealous of Heavenly Emperor Dao, Purple Yang Sect and Guang Shapeshift Great Art. They don't dare to have any relationship with themselves, but he is also very clear that many old antiques are dying, especially some old devil-level characters who came from other great treasures and walked away from the secret place, who were not in the cultivation world, were not afraid of these sects at all. The presence of this character is also a great treasure, but none of the cultivators came to Wei Suo intercourse. This only shows that they don't want Wei Suo to live at all. They also want to kill Wei Suo and want him to great treasure. They don't interact with us intercourse, we just go find them intercourse easy. After a cold sneer in the heart of a surging sound, Wei Suo did not move the surging sound towards the Ling Longtian sound transmission, and turned to look at the cultivator behind the great treasure piece. Ling Longtian can see through the things of these people. If he finds useful, he will directly propose intercourse. Even if the other party refuses to give him, he can also play the game more fully. H. Path to Heaven. Author, Wu Ziyi. Chapter 795. Chapter 795 Punching Heavy Materials. You are the fifth guy on the left, with a level 7 mid-level water attribute monster core. Ling Longtian's eyes have an imperceptible flash of gold, constantly watching the things around the cultivator. This fellow deist, I am interested in a water attribute monster core on you, don't know if you want to use it for something. According to Ling Longtian's sound transmission, Wei Suo went straight to the cultivator. The cultivator is the sect master of nature sect, wearing a fancy straw, 40-something face, a body of spiritual chi condense followed by a green circle. The phantom of the bead fruit is very strange. The nature sect master in a strange grass is obviously alive. Fellow deist, are you talking to me? It's talking to you right now. Wei Suo is very much looking forward to it. You have a water attribute monster core for me with great treasure, and fellow deist can be transferred to me. This person can actually see what I have in treasure receiving pocket. What secret sight surgery did he still have? Nature sect master very shocked. See around, a lot of cultivator eyes are gathered. He immediately shook his head. Great treasure surging sound. Wei, sorry, this water attribute monster core also has great treasure for me, and I did not play to Jiao this thing before, unless fellow deist will immortal king god crystal or other can directly promote rank 1C ultivation base thing to me, otherwise I won't take out Jiao change. A level 7 mid-level water attribute monster core, not as good as an immortal level Dan Yao, actually wants to exchange for the same level of immortal king god crystal. This is really a level lion great treasure opening. Why not directly ask the other party to use that immortal artifact Jiao exchange? What level of lion great treasure is open? Hey, long-awaited nature sect master is deceitful, and today it is really worthy of a good name. Even if the other party is really bright, he will not pick it up. If the other party can really give a great treasure increase. The cultivation-based thing, he took it and swallowed it, and he was foolproof. And in this sentence, he can also take a chance to explore Wei Suo. In addition to immortal king god crystal, is there any Danyao that can directly improve the cultivation base? Danyao directly promotes the cultivation base, so that Wei Suo can directly break through the golden core 5th layer cultivation base. It can also let him extend some life essence. Immortal king god crystal, although the gods take will be equito to promote the cultivation base, but it is not really improved. To completely refining, it is at least a few months to completely refining. Immortal king god crystal, and many people here will not give him time to refining immortal king god crystal. Nature sect is just a medium sect, and it is decided not to offend Lu Jinyu and others. This is said that shapeshift great art is actually a slap. Wei Suo's current move is that all the cultivators present are always on the lookout. At this moment, he heard the dialogue with nature sect master, and many familiar cultivators are immediately talking about it. Fellow deist's appetite is too great treasure, can you lower the conditions? At this moment, Wei Suo shook his head. Immortal king god crystal and level 7 mid-level water attribute monster core are not at the same level. Several levels of 7 water attribute monster core are not as good as an immortal king god crystal. In this case, it is really sorry. Fellow deist, you should also know that rank is good to great treasure, and you don't have to use it. Nature sect master looked apologetic and looked at Wei Suo. Fellow deist really don't want anything else. Wei Suo is not willing to give up the table lust. I have a good enough material to refine the mystic rank shapeshift great art great treasure, and Not required. Nature sect master no longer talks to Wei Suo, go straight to the side, find another cultivator and talk about Jiao Yi. Fellow deist, a phoenix crown divine fruit on your body, can help me improve my life essence and transfer it to me. Wei Suo sighed and walked towards a cultivator in purple. The cultivator in purple is very young. It is a family of secret place path of cultivation who built the cave mansion outside Heaven's Dome. It is a golden cloud cultivator, but it is not visible. Naked body cultivation base, giving people the feeling is also very secret place, extraordinary. Yes, I am very interested in fellow deist's void walking footwork. As long as fellow deist passes the shapeshift great art to me, let me verify it. I will give you this Yao. I have no interest in other things. The purple young man with purple clouds flowing around nodded. Void walking footwork is supreme strong shapeshift great art. In my current lust shape, Phoenix Crown divine fruit can only improve my 20-year life essence. Can fellow deist lower the requirements? Sorry, I am not interested in other things. The young world from the secret place path of cultivation has no form of lust, and refuses to turn away from Wei Suo. This fellow deist, you have a gold dollar fairy, I wonder if it can be transferred to me. I am sorry, you see that my life essence is not much. This golden dollar is for me to keep my own use. No matter what you use to be with me, I will not come up with Xiao. This fellow deist. Wei Suo walked through the entire great treasure meeting place, and kept looking for people. Finally, there was a golden core 4th layer rogue that didn't know where the cave mansion was built in the secret place and wore a black shapeshift great art robe covered with a flame rune. Cultivator is a bit of a heart, ready to work with Wei Suo Xiao. He has a millennium grass in his hand, which can improve the life essence for 20 years. He is prepared to use the Sandstic Yao blood phoenix wood from Mystic Wind sect old antique before Jiao for Wei Suo, plus a level 7 low grade Fire attribute monster core. There are also a lot of high-level monster cores that Wei Suo doesn't need now that are not water attribute, and the Millennium Health Grass is the same as the level 7 water attribute monster core, plus a healing Sanyao blood phoenix. Wei Suo gives the conditions that have emerged are already extremely good. But looking at the golden core 4th layer rogue cultivator, the cultivator came forward and interrupted the soon-to-be completed. This is a special white dragon head crutches of the old woman, is the broad shapeshift great art palace, one of the old antique, saw she took out a red dan yao and 2 small white yu bottle of gold yao liquid, handed to the preparation and Wei Suo Jiao easy rogue cultivator before, this plant thing I also have great treasure use, this fellow deist, I am willing to take these 3 things, with you Jiao change. 9-year-old red fire dan. Zhenyuan Zian Yi, the golden core 4th layer rogue cultivator wearing a black shapeshift great art robe suddenly stunned and immediately looked at the old lady. Well, I would like to change the 3 things of the fellow deist with the millennium. Old woman, you are deliberately one yuan, I am Jiao easy, right? Wei Suo suddenly had a surge of surging sound. This kind of Jiao exchange is the highest price, you roar to me, do you dare to disturb one yuan this Jiao easy? Guangsha, the old man of the shapeshift great art, said that after the sentence, Wei Suo was ignored. After changing the millennium, the sneer turned to the other 2 old copies of the shapeshift great art. Go. You, Wei Suo seems to be doing it, his body is soaring, but he finally resists, and his face is extremely ugly to another secret place. Guangsha shapeshift great art Tiangong is a venomous means. This is the bottom of the Zhou salary. Zhuyi red fire dan is a Yao refining with the fire attribute monster core at level 7 high level. The real source fairy liquid is just a bottle of blood phoenix wood, deliberately giving so many conditions, the other party and they are easy to qiao. I'm afraid not only the wide shapeshift great art will do this, but the cultivators of those who don't want to let him live and threaten will do this. Look, he is still looking for a spiritual Yao to increase life essence in 4 secret places, but I am afraid it is impossible to buy it, this time he is afraid that he is destined to fall. Many cultivators are secretly whispering from the sound transmission. I saw Wei Suo looking for a cultivator Jiao from time to time, but nothing at all. And as many cultivators expect, some cultivators will have a cultivator as soon as they are excited, and in the higher terms, they will replace the things in those cultivators. He did it in the end. Even Xuanhuan, old ancestor, who is very sophisticated, is a little overwhelmed. He wants to be close to Wei Suo. Sound transmission asks Wei Suo if he wants to help him acquire some high-level water attribute monster core and life element. The closeness of Wei Suo was stopped by Wei Suo's, which made Xuanhuan, old ancestor, very surprised. Deceased liar, it seems that you don't even want to get anything of value in this Jiao Yuhui Ling Long Tian is used to sharpening teeth, facing the Wei Suo sound transmission. The people of this cultivation base want to plot things on me. It's just about great treasure. Wei Suo sneered in his heart. There was a cultivator that had just arrived at the Golden Core second layer, which was exchanged for a level 7 mid-level water attribute monster core from a cultivator he inquired at a higher price. The cultivator of the Golden Core second layer is just a supreme elder called the medium-sized sect of the Holy Water, and obviously has a killing intent for Wei Suo. Now I want to plot Wei Suo's body and want to kill Wei Suo's cultivator. I don't know how many, so the Golden Core second layer cultivator wants Nebsp. Shen, great treasure is moving, you have so much to great treasure, just like going to some sinister places to explore great treasure, maybe getting one thing, you can change the fate of a cultivator or a sect, many people will not hesitate to fight to see. Yin Liwa sound transmission to Wei Suo's ear. It is indeed a solid, a lot of sinister ancient ruin once opened, there are cultivator rushing, many people in order to go to great treasure, are holding a lucky attitude, so basically every time there are ruins, secret place, there will be a number amazing cultivator went to snatch and fall. I have exposed the great treasure now, and as the cultivation base has improved, the level of the head has become more and more powerful. Many of my great treasures cannot be concealed, if you want to try to figure me out, you have to pay the price. Wei Suo, a surging sound sneer. Why the sects like Heaven Transformation Cult and Heavenly Emperor Dao obviously have a lot to great treasure, others are afraid to plot, that is because of the accumulated supreme majesty. If you don't dare to snatch someone else, then you can only stand up. Otherwise, it will be remembered by countless people, and there will be troubles. In this case, if you don't do shapeshift great art to complete a Jiao easy, then you can only throw a heavy weight. Wei Suo, a surging sound after sneer, directly out of surging sound, shouting out the heavy material, who can come up with Buddha nature holy fruit, I will change with heaven level top rank supreme secret techniques Jiao. What? Heaven level top rank supreme secret techniques. Wei Suo, this heavy material was thrown out, and suddenly the whole audience was boiling. Wei Suo throws heavy materials. In fact, I have already calculated the heart. I have not used void walking footwork, no beginning sword scripture, Earth Mother ancient scripture and true immortal divine mark to transmit shapeshift great art. Interrupted, his mind's strategy at the moment, in case someone can come up with Buddha nature holy fruit, he can use heavenly dragon star body tempering technique Jiao. This kind of Jiao is definitely the first to get Buddha nature holy fruit, and then to the surgery shapeshift great art scripture, heavenly dragon star body tempering technique UE is the real supreme strong shapeshift great art, the other party has no shapeshift great art rebuttal, just to complete dragon soul as the guide, not to say that the white ancient heavenly dragon after, far ancient heavenly dragon has been completely extinct, even if the other party can use what side shapeshift great art to get a dragon soul, no dragon burial mound, no celestial emperor ling star remnant. This kind of technique shapeshift great art, the other side cultivation up, and there is no shapeshift great art and Wei Suo in the same breath, it is impossible to Wei Suo pose a threat. And immortal root 5 secrets is amazing for Wei Suo. If you can get Buddha nature holy fruit, even if the other party is sure to be able to make this surgery, it is worth it for Wei Suo. Supreme secret techniques, although Weisuo, the great treasure Jian merchant, has other tricks in mind, the 4 words of light are enough to shake the entire venue, because Weisuo has shown several supreme secret techniques in the shapeshift great art. Supreme secret techniques, for many cultivators, is as amazing as immortal artifact.